This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, he's playing another character named Mike. It's The Ugly Truth. I'm Andrew Jupin.
American Steve Sadak.
Chris Cabin.
Eric Ugly.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, if you are new to this program, it is a comedy show where we loosely talk about movies and kind of just make fun of stuff. This week's selection is, of course, part of the Summer Blockbuster Extravaganza 2019. It's The Ugly Truth from 2009, directed by Robert Luketic, who you may remember as directing gambling thriller 21.
Yeah.
Additional romantic comedy no one saw, Killers.
Oh, boy.
Monster-in-Law.
Uh-huh.
The I Saw It in the Theater, Win a Date with Tad Hamilton.
Indeed.
Wow.
And one good movie, Legally Blonde.
And now before I'm asking everyone to put their tweet down, you're like, oh my God, what is this doing in the Summer Blockbuster Extravaganza? It's doing here because this movie made $200 million worldwide.
Yep.
That's a blockbuster sounding
It's doing-
title, or
it's
total to me.
It's doing here?
No, him to me.
Him to me.
No, but like 200
Yeah.
million, that means we should just shut it all down.
Well,
Honestly.
well, 200 million, I guess, for when this came out 10 years ago was fine, but now it's trash.
Yeah.
Is seen as a
For
failure.
200 billion.
But a movie,
200 million worldwide.
a
200
movie like
yeah.
this that cost almost nothing to
Yes,
make.
exactly.
True.
Tops 35,
But
I
now-
think.
lot of belt tightening green screen in this movie.
But you need 200 billion at the box office now.
Well, you got to break the record. You got to be the best movie
Yeah.
in June, the best movie in early June, maybe the best weekend in June where the president is a piece of shit. Like whatever, however you can actually quantify beating a record.
And you're also always losing to Disney. No
Yes.
matter what, you're always going to lose to Disney.
And
This-
Disney loses to Disney.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's box office cannibalism. Oh man, and I was gonna say something to your point, Steve. Oh, to your point, Steve, I can't believe there wasn't The Uglier Truth, followed by The Ugliest Truth.
I think that's what Killers is, essentially. It's just
Yeah.
going doubles on Katherine Heigl, getting Gerard out of there, and putting in an Ashton.
That's a trade sideways.
It's not
It's
a
a lateral
trade I want to
move.
make.
I-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's weird because Gerard Butler's so fucking awful in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd rather watch Gerard Butler be bad than Ashton Kutcher be anything.
Anything.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you don't want to get you want to get your money back, so it's like a dollar for $1.50. You know what I mean? Like that.
Right.
But it's not like this is like you get $1 in dimes versus $1 in nickels. It's all really inconvenient. It's like, well, this is just making my pants heavy at this point.
Now I gotta carry around this pocket full of Gerard Butlers.
I'm in your pocket.
This movie he is a public access shock jock, telling it like it is kind of person, and he gets hired on a local Northern California morning show. This is Sacramento, I believe.
Yes,
where it
yes,
is.
Sacramento.
The show is produced by Katherine Heigl, so
And it's really
sparks
her.
fly.
It's really her story.
It is her
Right.
movie for
Yeah.
sure.
From the beginning. And she's just, she has the worst life. She's making probably, decent high five figures, maybe.
Yeah, probably close to 6.
Dating Kevin Connolly.
Well, she's
So brief. Well, she goes on a date with him. I wouldn't define her life by that. She goes
No.
on one awful date.
I will say, though, I was pretty shocked. Kevin Connolly has one scene at the beginning of this movie that I believe might even be before the title card. Maybe not. But it's early on in the movie. He's making the fucking opening scroll.
It's crazy. Is this a local? Because she's the producer of. Is it a local
Yes.
show
Yeah, I
or
think
is
it's
it a
local?
It's a local affiliate.
Yeah.
It's
So
an
that's
ABC or
crazy.
whatever.
As this movie goes on, that's kind of crazy that it's a local show.
Because it's so popular?
Yes, because of the things that the Craig Ferguson thing makes no sense.
Yeah,
That why this local guy in Sacramento would get on Craig Ferguson makes zero sense.
Well, they say it's like a play that CBS is doing because they want them on their national show.
Got it.
So it's like, I believe they refer to it as his audition.
Okay.
You know, like if he does well, going toe to toe with Craig Ferguson.
So she comes in and she's like your classic lady movie archetype of I'm very uptight and I don't have time for a relationship, et cetera, et cetera. I'm very good at my job. She's interviewing a bunch of fat weathermen at the beginning, and like the weathermen need to be fat.
She has some like statistic about like when the weathermen get it wrong, audiences are more forgiving if it's a fat guy.
I don't know about that. I feel like if I gave bad weather, people would be very upset with me.
Oh,
Like,
they throw a rock at your head.
I mean, they're just dancing around Al Roker in this.
Yeah.
Like, to just say Al
Right.
Roker.
But this was also like years after he had that gastric bypass, so like the joke doesn't make any fucking sense. He's been thin as a rail for like 20 years.
As a rail.
Yeah.
Maybe as a rake.
Have you seen Al Roker?
Yes.
He's a slim man these
Yeah,
days.
slim,
He's not like
relative.
sharp and
He's
thin.
an American slim, I would say.
And you know, she's like going around and like, yeah, she's got this assistant that's like, this movie is in search of a B plot. Like, I'm glad this movie is only 96 minutes, but it needs a B plot.
I'm
You
shocked
need
they
something.
didn't lean into that nephew more or
Yes.
something. Or like maybe he's being picked on by a bunch of women at school.
It just needs something other than the two of them who have
Like,
zero chemistry.
Even you would think something in the newsroom like would actually have to happen.
Well, they set
like,
up
can I see her actually interview the fat men?
Or maybe
for the
like 9/11
thing?
happens.
Yeah, there you
during,
go.
During the ugly truth.
It's like that Robert Pattinson movie. It's a secret 9/11 movie.
Oh, Remember Me or whatever it was
Remember
called?
Me, yes, yeah.
Oof, yeah.
Like, you don't find out it's set in 2001 until the towers go down.
You're like, what's with all these shitty cell phones? Oh. Yeah, so like this morning show, it's John Michael Higgins and what's her Cheryl Hines, are like a married news duo.
And that's your B plot. Like, give them more to do because they're both the funniest people in your movie by a fucking mile.
That's
the
true.
only charming parts of this movie is when you get to see the two of them improving with each other, like at the news desk. There's clearly like John Michael Higgins and her just like throwing lines.
that, or you get like some state runoffs. You know, get yourself a Robert Ben Garant showing up. That would be something.
He'll do your movie.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he won't do your movie. I don't know.
Is there a Cordry in here?
There's a
Nate
lesser
Cordry.
Cordry, which is really saying something.
Jesus.
Nate Cordry played Neil Simon on that
Fosse Verdon show.
Fosse Verdon.
Oh, really?
He's fucking great on it, I have to say.
I watched like the first 6 episodes and I'm waiting to finish it. It's really great.
It's great.
She's
It's
great. She's
Fucking
fantastic,
great.
yeah.
She's great. He's great. The whole thing.
It's
is just
amazing to watch
fabulous.
Sam Rockwell not be in the Klan for fucking a week and a half. That's something, isn't it?
Well, he got that out of his system earlier this month. What was that Best of Enemies movie?
Okay, so this is a great script. Am I in the Klan or am I like is this like a nationalist organization? Like, what are we talking about here? Why am I in?
Wait a second.
What am I doing in this movie?
In that movie, he's in a hate group?
He's in the Klan.
Yeah.
He's like the head of the Klan.
all
What?
All
Him
those
and Wes Bentley are the head of the Klan.
All those trailers were like, and it's based on a real Klansman. Let's show the old guy from the Klan.
Yeah.
Look at that guy. Isn't he fun?
Wait,
Is
Anyway.
this your grandpappy?
You can't see, but Eric is doing the thing like you're on a late night TV show and the monitor comes down and he goes, "Yeah, let's just see this guy from the Klan."
Yeah, I'm looking to my right and like up a little. And it's true because I'm a professional.
Yeah, sure.
You know, so I
Right.
understand how to do those movements on.
Okay,
shows.
yeah. You know what? I didn't realize that. He plays C.P. Ellis, Exalted Cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan.
Cyclops.
Oh,
I
they
knew
had
that
all
dude.
sorts of Cyclopses and wizards and shit,
I knew
dude.
fucking Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. I bet
Gifted racist youngsters.
that's right.
Or gifted bigots.
But
Give me
Cyclops.
bigots. That's smoother. I like that
I
one.
feel like if you went up to Edward Norton, you're like, "Hey man, do you want to play a Nazi?" He goes, "Absolutely not. I did that once.
Yep.
It's never happening again."
Got it out of my system.
Rockwell's triple dipping at this point.
Well, okay, wait.
He's not in the Klan in that Three Billboards movie. He's just a racist.
He's thinking about it though. He's got some pamphlets. He's being
Clan
recruited by the
curious.
Klan.
Clan
The
curious.
brochure is halfway
He got
filled
kicked
out.
out of the Klan.
Wait. So it's Three Billboards.
Yeah.
It's this. He plays Cyclops in the Exalted Clan movie, whatever this
Yes.
is. And what else has he done?
No, I mean I'm just trying to think. It's too.
He's
too
also
much too-
done good stuff.
No,
even
he's done
before
great
that.
stuff.
But Steve, I thought you were saying he had a third.
Oh
one.
no! I'm just double or triple it. I
see.
You know, and maybe that Ninja Turtles character.
Poltergeist.
Oh yeah, huge Klan member, dude. That's why the Native American ghosts were going
Oh,
after
dude,
him.
Galaxy Quest, man.
Intergalactic Klan bigot, dude.
Moon, he's like racist against other versions of himself. Yeah. What'd you get, a tan, you piece of shit?
He's just hanging out with Kevin Spacey in that movie.
Yeah.
This movie dates itself nicely. Just a firm 2009ing right here. Their like celebrity chef is Rocco DiSpirito,
Yeah.
who you don't hear from anymore.
No.
Oh, he's a person?
He was
Yeah.
a big deal. Yeah.
What?
Well, the gag is in this scene, he's doing like celebrity chef on a morning show thing, and like it's chicken. He's Cheryl Hines eating. It's like chicken cacciatore, delicious, and he goes, "No, that's duck cacciatore," and she wants to throw up, and I'm like, "Trade up, that's amazing, that's great."
I was really confused what the joke was.
I was
here.
very
I was like,
confused by this
what's
joke.
going on here?
It seemed like there was a thing where it's like, oh, Cheryl Hines famously can't eat duck.
I thought
And
it was
then,
like a food allergy or something.
I thought it was going to be a joke that pays off, or Katherine Heigl was going to elaborate
Yeah.
on it in some way, but it's just ignored.
Yeah.
And she does a good job of like holding back her disgust,
Yes.
and getting through the segment and getting to commercial. And then I thought the vomit was going to happen, but it doesn't.
No.
It's
Somebody's got to
useless.
throw up, especially we're doing an R-rated movie. Let's show it.
Can we quickly mention the little animated opening credit sequence? It's not animated like an 80s movie, but you
Oh,
see
heart
like
crotch.
yes, thank you, heart crotch.
Wait,
Exactly,
what?
Chris. There's a figure of a woman.
Uh-huh.
You know, it looks like a bathroom sign.
Yes.
And it's got a beating heart on its chest.
Oh, right, yes.
And that's like women. They like hearts. And then when it turns into a man, the heart moves down to the dick. And it's just like men. They got heart dicks.
Gerard Butler comes out of his asshole.
It's a weird, that's a weird little thing. Like, it's like your heart's in your dick or your dick's in your heart. Or,
Well, yeah, I mean, they should have done brains, maybe, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that
like-
the,
yeah,
the
that'd
big
be something with
slogan?
brains in her
Everyone
heart
says like
and-
you're thinking with your other head.
Yeah, my
Right?
father said that to me one time. He pointed to my forehead and he said, "Think with this head."
oh, wow.
Yeah, dropping me
Wow.
off at college.
Did he give you any condoms or no?
No. So they're having ratings trouble. We're told this by the station manager, played by Nick Searcy from Justified. I fucking love this dude. Big old Red Bull product placement right in the middle of everything.
Lots of it.
We
What,
literally
what?
have two people on this show passing notes right now in the studio. What are you fucking giggling at?
Nothing.
Oh, no.
No, I was
Show
just
me
showing
Andy.
Chris. I did a cartoon of the crotch dick, just as my note, for the
Crotch
episode.
dick?
I was
Well, I
expecting
guess
a
it's more of a. I
A
guess
heart crotch?
Yeah.
I was expecting a picture of me with stink lines.
Yeah, like me with a witch's hat on.
A crotch dick, wouldn't that just be a dick?
Yes, the
Oh
crotch
my
dick
God,
is a
I guess
dick.
you're right. Maybe like a heart dick, like a.
Yeah,
well, that's
that
kind
sounds-
of. I guess dicks are kind of shaped like hearts. The heads of it.
What?
Again, I think we have to get you back in school.
Or to a doctor, dude. I don't know, one or the
I had a
other.
triple bypass the other day. I
So-
performed it on myself.
So she is set up on a date. This is Kevin Connolly. There's some sort of dating service where the fucking assistant. This is also a thing. This assistant, by the way, Judy Greer was like, "It's 2009.
Yes. Yep.
I'm above it.
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
fucking above it. How dare you even call me at this?"
So
point?"
they cloned Judy Greer and they
Yeah.
got this lady.
There was like a Judy Greer certificate program that you were able to get in like 2008 and 2009 that this woman got.
the
And
put
good for-
upon lonely assistant living
Yeah.
vicariously through the star of the film.
And she's like, "Oh my God, he's a 9 out of 10 in all of our categories. Woohoo, everybody!" Or
Which, like,
something.
you don't get to hear what those are. And come on.
That's
Come
the
on,
thing.
smart screenplay.
Exactly.
Let's do
It's
it.
like number 1, he's got to do this number, and that's kind of the thing. is
Number
like,
4, uncut.
this movie is so unspecific in everything. Like, wherein like you need to get there to understand half the stuff. That's your duck cacciatore joke. Like, that's a joke that needs to be specific.
Well, these are self-diffusing jokes is what happens. They fucking fizzle out before they go off.
This is very weird for a rom-com, but you can like smell where the cuts were throughout this.
You think this movie was originally 180 minutes long?
It would have had to have been something longer than this for the cacciatore joke alone, but also for this, like Kevin Connolly being for one scene.
Yes.
And like you think he's coming back at the end
Right.
for some reason.
I was at the height of his e-powers.
But I would argue that it's too much Kevin Connolly.
Any Kevin Connolly is too much
He is
Connolly.
terrible in this movie.
awful.
In like 30 seconds of this movie, it's
I was
nothing.
I was impressed at how bad it was in such a short little amount of time. I mean, maybe he didn't want to do the movie. Who knows?
Because Katherine Heigl's just a very, very professional actress. She's doing exactly what she always does, which is like give energy to the scene in so much as it deserves.
Right.
And Connolly is just like, yes, I would like a whiskey. And she goes, you said you like red wine on your profile. And he's like, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Also, other alcohol.
And he's just like, you're fucking crazy for knowing my profile.
Yeah.
I mean, she does have a printout of it.
She has
which
a
is
fucking
weird.
printout, and she says she ran a background check on him.
Yeah.
Because she says something about like where he lives or some like other fact, and he's like, "That's not on my profile." And she's like, "Yeah, but it was in your background check." And it's like supposed to be a joke, but it's like, "Ooh, that's a horror movie line."
But I mean, again, you're not working against Jeremy Piven, who's calling you a fucking bitch, and you got to hug it out with him. It's like an actor that needs a little more from you.
A lot
you know what
more.
I mean? You know what I mean? Like, so you need to escalate and be like, "Whoa, what are you talking about? You ran a background check on me?"
Well, dude, it's Kevin Connolly, man. He just bros out with whoever he's doing the fucking scene with.
I do appreciate mentioning another cast of Entourage.
Sure.
Kevin Dillon would have nailed this scene.
Oh man,
Definitely.
Yes.
You get Kevin Dillon, and he's like, "Yeah, hey, but what?" He would do like a what?
Yeah.
His eyebrows. You get Turtle in. You get fucking Turtle in
would
this.
kill this thing.
Turtle would slay it, dude,
He
up
would.
and down. He'd make fucking turtle soup of this scene.
both of them would be down for it though.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Kevin Connolly is bailing.
Funny enough, you know who'd fuck it up? Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, of course.
Wait, you ran a background check on me?
And then I punched her in the face. What? Wahlberg.
You tell Mark Wahlberg background check, and he keeps looking behind him like, "What? The extras look good."
I'm checking the background. What are you talking about?
They're fucking fine, just like they were the last time.
Is Mike back there? Michael?
Bro, I'm gonna walk from this movie, The Ugly Truth.
Adrian Ganere would have fucked it up too, I think.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
That guy was a waste.
Yeah.
I saw him in like one of our like Williamsburg haunts one
Yeah.
time. Was really worried that was going to be the end of that bar.
I think I remember that.
It turned out okay, though. He left. I think he realized he was in the wrong spot.
I
and
think
left
he saw
immediately.
me specifically. Like, yeah, I don't need to be here.
So, yeah, this is a bar full of turtles. Gonna leave.
This place is lost.
I need a Vince bar. This is I found a turtle bar. My mistake.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Turtle bar, everybody. Guys, go back. It's a turtle bar. I fucked it up. I read Yelp wrong. It's a turtle bar.
So like whatever, the date goes poorly. She goes back home. She's got a cat, an adorable cat named D'Artagnan. I was big into this cat. Good cat acting.
Yeah.
The cat is the catalyst for the whole film in a
Nice.
way, because the cat like steps on the remote control and it turns to Gerard Butler's show, The Ugly Truth.
On local public access.
And it's set up like Adam Carolla's podcast studio. He's got a lot of fucking bobbleheads and bullshit and a
Yeah.
fucking in-studio toilet
The
and whatever.
basement of a fucking mental asylum is where this place.
I
looks
mean,
like
like-
this guy he has like a Black Lodge fucking
Yeah,
curtain behind him, and he's just screaming into a microphone.
Well, Kevin, I don't know if you've watched fucking public access, man. That's like 90% of it.
Oh,
Well, that's
okay.
the weird thing is like
Screaming in front of curtains.
but Jesus isn't involved, so that's what drives me nuts. It's like that's what public access is all about.
Right,
true.
yeah. I prefer, the kind of public access I like. I don't know if it still exists. Remember when they would just broadcast like traffic cams throughout the city?
Oh yeah.
Remember that channel?
No.
It was
Never
like
watched it.
if you had like non-cable box cable. Like you just flip through all like whatever those digital channels were floating in the
like
air.
A traffic update or something?
No, it wasn't any updates. It was just literally traffic cameras throughout the city. Like they had one in Times Square. There was like one on the Grand
and
Central.
You're just sitting there going like, are they going to actually kill that girl?
Pretty much, dude. You wait and you tried to see if anything happened, if anything went down, like a
Nice.
car accident.
Nice. It's good that people who are shut in could experience
That's
intersections.
like going out on a Friday night, my friend.
Dude, Times Square, the open road, bridges, come on. It's great for those people.
Yeah, I guess.
Those people. So she's watching it and like
Men cannot be trained.
it's like, oh, you've got your books. Chicken soup for the soul. Men are from Mars. Women are from Venus. It's all crap. Here's my advice. Get skinny. And that's kind of it.
That's pretty much it.
What a
She winds up like
genius.
calling in and they have like a fucking phone fight on the air.
But to be fair, did anyone else notice? Because it's 2009, he say someone look like Shrek.
Yeah,
he does.
Yep, he definitely does,
That's
actually.
insane. Yeah, he's some lady I guess calls in before. And he's like,
Yes.
it's probably because you. No. He just calls her Shrek, like goodbye Shrek.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye-bye, Shrek.
I read, that the whole performance is offensive, honestly. As a Scotsman who used to be an ogre, that's offensive.
And yeah, like I said up top, his name is indeed Mike in this movie. Also, Mike Chadway.
But he's also pulling this out. We're doing the Gerard Butler voice, a bad version.
Yes.
But he's pulling this back and kind of flattening it as best he can.
It is atrocious. It's like
It's hard.
This guy's not American. I
Yes.
don't know if he's Scottish, but maybe he's from outer space. Is the vibe I was
would
getting.
go
Well,
for
it's like the
Aerosmith.
John Mulaney bit of like a horse in a hospital. Like
Yeah.
this voice is a horse in a hospital.
Yes, exactly.
Like, it's just like, what are you doing there? And
Because this is only a couple years out after 300. And 300, he's just Scottish. He's
Yeah, yeah.
the Scottish Greek.
Why
king.
bother?
Yeah.
if
And
you, I mean, listen, I know that like thing is hard to cover up. That's fucking thick. Again, just mention the quickest detail about like you came here in college and
Yeah.
that's it.
There's one line where somebody, I think her assistant is talking to Katherine Heigl, like, oh, he came over, he moved here just in general when he was 10, but it's
Right.
not like you don't see where he's from. So it's like, what?
And it doesn't make any sense because he has a sister in this movie who's not Scottish
Yes.
at all.
Well, the thing is, he moved here when he was 10 with just $5 in his pocket. Look what he became today.
That's
What a hardworking immigrant.
Yeah, after 10 years of sleeping in a lion's jaw. I mean, what the
This show is like he's basically doing like a chauvinistic Howard Beale. Like he's just yelling at the television about how men can't be trained, and he's like, "You must be a dog," just fighting with her on the phone.
This fucking show he has is straight out of YouTube's alt-right wormhole.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Like this is what's like 2009, we're portraying these male chauvinists as being like charming date material in,
Yeah.
in major popular culture. $200 million, my God.
So you think like Mike Cernovich has this movie on DVD?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because
This-
I'm sure they all have terrible taste.
well, he's got this and Magnolia.
Because it's all like these
Magnolia it's very, this reminded me of Magnolia with Tom
Yeah,
Cruise.
he's like a Z grade Tom Cruise in that movie.
fuck the frogs are falling from the sky.
Oh no, me father's dying.
It's not going to stop. Do you? That's up.
Gerard Butler driving around in the frog rain, just turning on his windshield wipers.
I would love him to talk up William H. Macy in that movie. Like, you want to fuck that bartender? Go fuck that bartender. Don't let the guy from the burb steal him from ye.
Oh wow.
From Yee.
Yeah, that's it.
That long intro with Supertramp and not William H. Macy, but Gerard Butler.
Yeah, I can
with
get into
big
this.
glasses.
Look, you're a good-looking guy. The braces are weird, but they're working out.
I gotta rewatch that movie, man. I haven't seen it in a really
great
long
movie, yeah.
time.
Great movie.
So lo and behold, the next morning she goes to work, and Nick Searcy has hired this dude, I guess in the middle of the night, to come on and do the fucking ugly truth on the television program.
Because he's like, oh, this guy gets good public access ratings.
Who is looking at those numbers? Who's keeping those numbers?
How do you quantify it?
I don't even know.
I don't think you do.
It's like, I think they say, like, every 20 minutes, if you're watching this, please call in and let us know you're watching us. We're trying to keep a tally of how many households.
They do say that their news stations ratings are so bad that
toilet.
Yeah, reruns of whatever are doing better. So
Oh, yeah.
Who's the boss? It was the joke.
yeah.
Yes, there it was. I was going to say there was kind of a joke in there
Yeah.
because he's like, it's the episode where the vacuum breaks.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
Fantastic.
And he comes. And the weird thing, the thing about like all these guys, like I mean, I guess it's more honest now because like when you're those guys, like you're Mike Cernovich's or whomever, you have to live that all the time because people are like keeping tabs on you. But like none of these guys are really that way. You know what I mean? Like the mic goes off and then like, yeah, that was a fun
Yeah, the mic goes off, Mancow shuts up.
exactly. Like Howard Stern was never who he was on the air. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was
Right.
the gag.
Yeah.
Also, you cannot. I mean, at this point, I don't know if this is necessarily true in 2009, but at least at this point, you can't. You make more money not taking a big gig like this,
Yes.
and just doing your online thing and like
Oh, that wasn't
having
true.
a premium like Snapchat or something.
I don't think that was like, happening now. I think we'd had YouTube for like, what, 2 years? Wasn't
Yeah.
YouTube just like 2007?
2005?
Or was it
maybe?
2005?
Maybe it was 6. I don't know.
But
you
like not a long time.
No, I mean,
People weren't
it's-
making
you were
money
making
off
money
of
off of it. Okay,
it. We were
okay.
uploading
So,
old fucking toy commercials.
on that sense, then I guess that makes sense.
But none of
But-
these
but-
people are actually who they pretend to be.
Right, but Gerard Butler would be kicked off of Patreon. probably.
at this point,
You don't know. Fuck it. I'm leaving Patreon.
Please donate to me PayPal.
you think it's because of the racism, but it's really because of all the XXX material he puts up there.
To be fair,
That-
he's not a
that-
racist in this movie.
No,
No.
not
no,
to our
well,
knowledge.
not that we
Just a-
know.
Well, there's no black people in this movie at all? Question mark.
No,
Or
that's
brown
not true.
people? Who?
No, that's not true. You have, working in the office is Yvette Nicole Brown.
Okay.
So, one person.
With one line, maybe, or
A couple. She's got about as many lines as Nate Cordry.
Oh, that's
They're
true.
just
That's-
like people that work in
Yeah, sure.
the news office or whatever.
Some
So they're,
office
they're
fillers.
sort of there, but they just don't matter.
Listen,
that's
I'm
all.
not saying it's a fucking diverse, robust cast,
No.
man. I'm just saying.
It's not the good place. So she's very against it, and like she even outs herself, which I would never do. She's like, "Well, I called your show last night, Mister."
Yep.
And
No
he's like,
way,
"Well,
dude."
you're prettier in person."
What now? The move is just to suddenly change the timbre of your voice.
Yes.
And suddenly become like a different person.
Yep.
Like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. And everyone could be like,
Hi, I'm Katherine Heigl now for the rest of it. What is she doing? This is how I've always talked. What are you talking
oh,
about?
you guys are so funny saying that I didn't talk like this.
He's got a
Do I have
couple.
tapes of her? This is weirding me out. Did
No.
she always talk like that?
That's, I don't know. I guess maybe the elevation, your ears popped.
There's a couple of like pretty rank lines here that he's got when they meet in the studio. She's like, "Oh, I'm your producer. What I say goes." He's like, "Good. I like a woman on top."
Oh, jeez.
And then there's another bad one where she's like, "Yeah, I tuned into your show last night, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Oh, thanks for watching," or whatever. And she's like, "And by the way," like at the end of the conversation, it's like the blackout line is like, "I didn't have your show on. My cat accidentally changed the channel," to which he responds, "Then you'll want to thank your pussy for me."
Yeah, that I do
Man.
remember that. There
Pretty
was
funny.
There was something when she called the show and was talking about like the ideal man,
Yeah.
and she listed all the attributes, which is like a dude that's like not a scumbag. And he drinks wine or
Yeah.
whatever. And he's like, that doesn't exist. You want a gay man.
He
There's
does
a lot
couple
of that.
Yeah, he does
There's
a couple
lot
of that.
of
that. A lot of
Like,
gays.
if anyone even like reads a book, they're the gayest dude in the gay world.
I feel that's straight out of Corolla country.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that guy's probably like that all the time. But like, that's the thing is like when she's like, "I'm your producer," what I say goes, like, "Okay, cool, very nice to meet you. You know, I'm gonna do this whole shtick where I talk about fucking women, blah blah blah. By the way, like be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
person.
And
Like
like,
these
yes,
people are people.
We understand that he's supposed to be this way, ladies
Yes,
and gentlemen,
exactly.
because this is what the character is. But the point is, the movie
Yes.
is like, get ready for it, everybody, because soon enough, she'll find all this charming. Because he certainly doesn't change one lick.
No, he doesn't
just
at all.
learns to deal with it.
It's just the entire world around him also becomes 2D.
Well, yeah, neither of them really come off as characters, really.
No.
Like, they don't do much outside of, like, meet and dislike each other and then like each other.
But it's Heigl's movie, and like even that she's like the buttoned up career woman, like she doesn't have specificity in so far as like, you know what I mean? Like none of this, like we never get her 10 criteria. We never understand like what her goal is.
Yeah, what's
what
her ambitions beyond being this fucking in this goddamn forsaken shithole?
Money. She wants money.
Yeah, she just wants money, I guess, is what you're supposed to take.
I'm wearing her down.
So he has his first like on-air segment. He's talking about like marriage or something, and he starts using John Michael Higgins and Cheryl Hines as like an example, and they have like a famously bad marriage off the camera kind of a thing. So he starts like doing marriage counseling on the air, which ends in them like making out and like getting ready to fucking bone on live television.
Because he's like, you better fuck your husband. He's like, you make too much money for your husband. And she's like, well, what am I supposed to do with that? And he's like, fucking deal with it. Like, that's kind of it. Like, she's like,
get fucking.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about like, oh, a woman making more money than you emasculates you, and you'll never have sex again. And it's like, please.
That's what it is. Because he's like, oh, I'm having trouble getting it up or something. It's like, cause she pulls in more than you do.
if I never had sex with somebody who made more than me, I'd be a fucking virgin. All right, that's just how that shit works. I work in
Exactly.
publishing. It's fine.
You know what? It's great for women to make more money.
Yeah,
than
of
you.
course. It's totally fine. It's never something that even entered my brain.
Well, it's entered this guy's brain, dude,
Yes.
multiple times. So we get a little peek at his home life, where he's got this like little nephew who he's raising to be like a junior fucking monster, like he is.
And this is one of those things where it's like, oh fuck, of course he's got a kid. And then when it gets downgraded to nephew, I'm like, wait, why doesn't he have a kid? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that should be the thing.
Oh, I forgot to wrap it up one night. Here came Timmy.
Oh, yeah, he ain't paying for any of those kids. Don't give it. Please, look at this guy.
I was in a 3-man and a baby situation, and I killed the other 2 men. There was a bassinet, and I claimed that baby.
Now their ghosts haunt our pretty cool apartment we all shared.
There's a big mural of 3 dudes and 2 have X's on them, and it's just Gerard Butler with a top hat.
It's X's over the eyes.
Exactly. I got the baby. I won.
Tongues hanging out of their mouths.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, this little kid's like, hey, Uncle Mike, I was sexually harassing this girl in school today, and she wasn't having it. And he's like, gah, you gotta save that for the hoot ones.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're too young to do my thing. Like this is where he almost has it's not a third dimension. It's like when a room has like a little bit of a weird divot. It's not like that's not a corner.
Well, it's like the smallest amount of morals you could possibly have.
Yes, exactly.
Well, yeah, the Chadways classically bring the young out at 18. They kill a bear with their bare hands, and then they are able to mate.
It's just like Sparta.
Yeah.
Your birthday's coming up. I'm gonna take you to the Hoor House. That's what he'd do. He would be one of those uncles that it's like, let's go get it over with. We're going to the ranch.
The Who House. Whose house?
He's just
Trying
like
to do like a who's on first.
he's
kind
just
of
like
thing.
going to local diners and asking if they have a cat house in back, but they're all
Where you keep the prostitutes while I wait for me eggs?
Ew, wait, what?
Kevin said it's a diner with hookers.
or it could be anything. He would just be walking in and asking them where the
Anywhere where
prostitutes
the
are.
prostitutes might be.
I thought he meant human eggs.
Could you blow me where the Pampers is?
Because
Sir, this is a State Farm.
this kid's got 6 lines, and the mom has like 1, and that is it for the whole fucking
The mom's
side
line
story.
is, what?
Yeah, she's like, well, your uncle is just such and such and such and such, and that's it.
Yep.
And we get back to Katherine Heigl, who's living.
Oh, wait a second. Sorry, there's
Please.
a bad joke here because it's 2009, and I guess we're still using these. the answering machine gag, where he's like in his fucking bachelor pad above the garage, a la Arthur Fonzarelli or wherever this dude's
Well, to be
living.
fair, up to and including like 2 weeks ago, he's making public access money.
Right, yeah, right.
Which is, I don't think any money
No,
at all. It's
zero.
just,
No,
he's
none.
it's a hobby.
Right.
Insulting women is a hobby.
Free drinks at the worst bar.
But he's checking his messages, and it's just one after the other. Like, ooh, I want to pull your beef. Oh, I want to suck your beef. And like the kid's walking in, and he's trying to fast forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, beep. Yeah, this is Ronan Farrow. Could you care to comment before this goes to press?
And it's a
just-
total.
Oh shit! Ronan Farrow's blowing up me answering machine. I'm getting cancelled.
Just when the public access was getting good. But they fucking rip off a Seinfeld joke right here. He can't get it to stop, and he fucking pulls it out of the wall.
really?
And then he's just holding this big boxy answering machine. I was like, really? In 2009, still a big ass answering machine like that?
Sure.
Is there a cassette tape in there?
So. I mean, no.
I don't
We're
know.
not doing that still, are we?
I guess, I mean, I don't know, because he's like unemployed, so maybe the joke's like he's got old technology or something. I don't know.
Or maybe because the Cylons keep invading, he downgrades his tech.
That makes sense.
Oh,
Right.
so it won't come alive and kill him.
Right, exactly.
That makes sense.
Oh, a reference I wouldn't get. Okay.
So say we all.
And all of his paper for his shows they just cut the ends so that it's not like a perfect triangle or rectangle. So
That-
it's just like a hexagon piece of paper. Or
Those
whatever.
hexagon pieces of paper
love it.
made no fucking sense.
No,
Just
they
have a
didn't.
sheet of paper.
I love that
Listen.
show more than life itself. Though it made no sense.
But if you developed outside of Earth, like it's separate planets, and they just,
so they just don't care about efficiency at all. Not
No.
4 cuts, 8.
well, maybe they make little footballs out of the sides they cut off or whatever.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like if Ben Franklin instituted that, we'd all be doing it.
Oh, that turkey fucker didn't care about
Yeah.
cuts of paper, dude.
That dude was a Cylon.
That dude would be canceled, by the way.
Oh, dude, definitely.
So she's like spying on this dude across the way who's naked because like her cat got up a tree.
Yeah.
So then like she gets the cat and then it's like, say, I heard pornography music starting. Better look around.
This is insane.
And it's just this dude like in a towel. The fucking branch breaks. By the way, did you notice this fucking fake as fuck branch here? Like, obviously it would be fake either
Yeah.
way, but like it's a bad looking prop in this movie.
Yeah, and she goes, her skirt goes over her head, kind of a thing, right?
But
Now-
this guy is a good-looking
Yeah,
prop.
now-
Man,
now
this guy's
to-
cut.
To be fair to Katherine Heigl,
Yeah.
this is a lean piece of beef.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it really is pretty
Man,
jaw-dropping.
It is like steaming. This is like
Jaw-dropping.
steaming little piece of beef.
And I mean, like, it's totally fine to have, I don't know, like, but this dude's like, has a lot of lines in this movie. Like, you could find a fit comedic actor. You get
Yeah.
yourself a Paul Rudd in there, a Ken Marino, maybe.
Someone
I
who
think
could
a Ken
carry
Marino, you're not getting a Paul Rudd.
I'm being literal. He like has about as much like dramatic energy as the side of beef as well.
Yeah, no, he does.
He
Yeah.
It's just, like,
cannot
nothing.
carry a scene whatsoever.
No, he's just like, I'm good looking.
Yeah. I'm a doctor.
Like
I
that-
check off the boxes on your sheet.
The thwap you hear when you put a side
Thwap?
of beef down
Yeah.
at a butcher's. That's every time he speaks. I just hear that. Thwap.
You should not be surprised to learn that this dude was on 683 episodes of Days of Our Lives.
You do not say.
Yep. Oh, and Harold and Kumar escaped from Guantanamo Bay.
Ooh, did he play a guard?
He played Colton.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with his character in this movie, which is Colin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For indifference.
Oh, by the way, he's white. I don't know if you guys have caught up on that.
Oh,
if you haven't seen the movie, the
absolutely.
guy's
Yes,
white.
yes.
By the way, the his IMDb like profile page, his actor's name is Eric Winter. The little like video next to his featured photo.
Winter is coming. Is that what?
No, it's him and her at the baseball stadium, which
What?
we'll talk about in a second. It's her just deep throating the hot
Oh,
dog.
Jesus.
Wow, this is like the highlight of his entire life.
Of
honestly.
course. Being in the ugly. This movie made $200 million.
Yeah.
200 million smackers.
Hopefully he's getting some fucking shit on the back end, dude.
I feel like Days of Our Lives is more profitable.
Yeah, that's true.
He was part of the Heiglverse.
Oh, the Heigl verse.
Yes.
Let's explore that. So-
Let's not say we did.
Oh no, maybe it's her when she turns into Heigelberg, which is her dark alter ego. She puts on a
Right.
black hat.
She
Hey,
starts-
guess what, Apatow? I'm the one who knocks, motherfucker.
I think that's what got her no phone calls.
Yeah.
She should start doing meth.
She's doing Suits, which is pretty close.
Oh, really?
She's on that
I didn't
Suits,
know.
man.
No.
Final season coming up, gentlemen.
Suits is still going on.
I just saw that. I've never seen a full episode of Suits. I'm not pretending I'm a Suits dude.
No, I don't watch USA original
please
programming.
do not steal Suits Valor.
It was promoted in my feed. It was like the final season of Suits, which I think the only reason they're like giving the show a swan song is that they can show Meghan Markle clips, like and be like,
Yeah.
remember,
Right.
remember.
Yeah, totally.
I
Maybe
think
they'll
that's probably it.
they'll have her character like have a car bombing or something, and Katherine Heigl's trying to figure it out, along with the titular Suits.
They're
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
hey,
16 episodes. Wow.
The what you call it? The producer of Suits is like, look, let's just get Megan back for the last episode. You know, and let me just. Oh, she's not returning any of our calls, like any of them.
I don't think that.
Who went
she
to the
could-
wedding? Who went to the wedding again?
None of them did.
No, some
No,
Suits,
did they really?
Suitsers were at the wedding.
Wow, Suitsers attended.
Yes, Suitsers were in attendance.
That's pretty decent American representation, I'd say.
Oh God, she wants us to write Harry in. Oh no,
Dude, you'd fucking kill for a fucking royalty on that show.
Absolutely, dude. Are you kidding me, Kevin?
Characters and royalty welcome on the USA Network.
Now we're paying royalties to royalty.
There's that other show, Royal Pains. Remember that one?
That one got
yeah.
canceled. No one married into royalty on that
But
one.
didn't that run for like fucking
It's all
long-
USA. They all run for 140 years.
It's all secret television shows, dude. What was Monk, like 11 seasons?
Yeah.
something like that?
You'll be surprised.
I couldn't imagine that Harry guy acting.
no.
Although I did see him act a little bit when he went to Afghanistan and pretended to be a fighter. That was kind of funny.
You wore a little fun helmet.
Yeah, he was just like, "Hey, I'm just like you guys." No, you're not.
So anyway, she falls out of this tree. She gets stuck. The dude comes out, towel wrapped around. And
Yeah.
like, she's freaking out. He's trying to help her. And she like rips off this towel and she is face to dick right here.
Yes, that's right.
And there needs to be some kind of a joke here.
Yeah.
She sort of just like covers up her face and they don't acknowledge it at all. There has to be like, oh, I'm sorry. And then he's got to be reacting.
Yeah.
There's just nothing.
It's smooth as a kneecap down there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, right. That's
Rub
what
my
it is.
bump.
Make
Rub my
some
bump.
joke about like a wax job.
Yeah.
Like nice
Oh,
wax
right.
job. Anything.
A Ren and Stimpy bad smell noise.
Oh my God. Yeah, of course.
Fucking cheese dick.
So Mike is an instant sensation overnight. Some might even say.
And like she has like tentative plans with the doctor. She calls him the next day, and Mike's like, when are you gonna get over it? I'm a fucking hit. And she's like, oh, blah blah blah, fuck you. I'm gonna call this doctor. She's like, he's not into you because you're fucking needy and weird. And like the idea, she calls him. And like he puts her on hold, he hangs up on her. He's like, "Listen, you've got to play the. I'll make a deal with you, which kind of makes this a movie, but isn't a movie. Which is like basically the deal is, if I help you get this guy, you'll stop being shitty at work. And it's not you have 20 days, you have 10 days.
No, you're right. It's very low stakes. I guess this is what the movie's about.
Exactly. It's
Yes.
like that's the deal of the movie, but the
Yeah.
movie needs a deal to be a movie.
It's like half like Cyrano de Bergerac and
Yes.
half like she is Eliza Doolittle, basically.
There's no sense of place. Like that's like exactly like any sense of what the newsrooms actually like to work there.
Yes.
They're just there to argue with each other. And it's a place where they argue with each other.
Yeah.
And you don't really get to know what the whole thing is other than small snippets of Cheryl Hines and fucking John Michael Higgins.
Yeah.
Right. And because I guess this movie was written by Al Bundy, or Al Bundy did a pass on the screenplay, maybe. His first segment after he's a huge hit is Jello wrestling with babes in a pool.
I
Like,
think
come
Ted
on.
Bundy did a right up on his script.
It is incredibly vile and shockingly evil, this whole script.
It's just like the whole notion of like a Jello wrestling. It's just like such a played gag. It's like your uncle wrote this.
It's a
screenplay.
90s gag.
It's disgusting. It's like a John Waters scene.
I
That Jello looked like jelly, by the way.
It looks really gross.
And he's
that
like
does not
licking it
count
off
as
to be like, oh, that was strawberry.
Well, because she's like, all right, fine. She's in the control room.
gets
And she's
into
like,
it.
all right, fine. If we're gonna do this, fuck it. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna go for it or whatever. And she gets like on the intercom and she's like, put her finger in your mouth now.
Yeah.
And he's like, pardon me. And he does it, yeah. And he's like, oh, I was wrong. It was cherry flavored. He hot.
Wait, I'm getting jerk off instructions in me earpiece. Ah, shit. My AirPods are in me headphones. Everything's backwards.
She has that bullshit nightmare where like she's a naked weather girl and he's like the king of the network or whatever. These are more cartoon fucking things right here because she's got like cartoon clouds over her boobs. And then she's like, oh, the low pressure system's going to go down here.
And I mean, like, that's like not funny, but it's fine if you know what she's actually trying to do. If she's like, I want to win a fucking Emmy because I want to tell hard-hitting news, or I want to make people feel warm and nice inside, or whatever her ambition might be.
There's no stakes because like she's presented with the low ratings and she's like kind of doesn't care.
Yes.
She's like, oh, I'll think something up, and all of her ideas are terrible because she doesn't put anything into it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, she also mentions like she's already an award-winning journalist and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, part of it is like she's over with it. But yeah, it should be like she's trying to get to the next level of like the network or like whatever it is. She has no goals other than like, somebody fuck me.
But also like the whole idea of like, oh man, you know what people want to watch at fucking 9 a.m. is fucking Jello wrestling, which is no one.
Right.
Like
yeah, that's a little too early.
And that whole demographic is, you know, it's older women. You know what I mean? Like that's why those shows are what they are.
Sure. But there's an audience. Oh, they're out there.
At 9 o'clock, I guess there's weird, desperate loners.
Yes.
There's teens skipping
that very
school.
contingent.
The dudes who work the night shift who are always at the bar when you're going to work.
Yeah.
They're passing out to the news before.
You ever watch commercials and they're really specifically tailored and you're like, well, I shouldn't be watching this. Because like I would watch like used to have This TV over here, which is we'll watch like 2 o'clock in the morning, like a bad movie or something. And it was always, all the commercials were addiction based. It was always like, I used to do crack cocaine and now I don't. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that, but
I would if it was here. But,
it's like after like the news magazine shows at night, like on MSNBC, once they hit the last one, they just start replaying prime time.
Yeah.
And when you hit those commercials, I think I Instagrammed one of these one time. It was so fucking hilarious. It was this guy and he's like, yeah, so I'm really happy with my new evergreen catheter. You know, older catheters. And this guy saying catheter like 1,000 times in this ad. It's the funniest
The
thing.
one with me is commemorative coins. I'm
Well,
just plagued by them, and I'm like, this is not for me, and you know this
I
is not
watched
for
like
me.
an old Johnny Carson, and it's like the whole like 2 minutes of a commercial breaks. Like, you ever get your catheter stuck in the door? Like, you ever hit a doorknob and you're flying?
brand new coffins, wide coffins.
There's also stuff like I saw one recently which was fucking great. It was just like, you ever know? Have you paid into life insurance? You know, you could sell your policy and not get any money when you die, but it doesn't matter because you'll be dead.
There's I was actually just visiting my folks last weekend, and my dad, big This TV head.
Oh yeah,
because they spin all his favorites, dude. Hogan's Heroes. I believe you had some Perry Mason on there.
Shit.
A lot of the old shows, right? So there we are watching Hogan's Heroes, and it's like, well, clearly if you have this on, you've probably served in the military. It's like something about like military family insurance.
It's a faster way to fold a tri-folded flag. It's like it's an automated way for your funeral to make it out. My favorite one was it was a steel build. There was a warehouse somewhere where somebody bought a bunch of steel sheds, and the idea was it starts off with this guy's like, I bought my steel shed and I love it, and it's like for your backyard or whatever.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I've seen this.
And the thing is, no reasonable offer is refused, which I always love that idea. What is a reasonable offer in this situation?
Well, I think it depends upon how big the steel shed is, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you got to start from there. But my first thing I would think is reasonable if it was like maybe like the mid-size one. I don't know, like $300.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a steal.
That's nice.
What about like a length of tubing that I have in my house? Is that a reasonable offer?
We will come by and take your copper and leave a steel shed.
Oh, right. Definitely on these adverts, dude. You can be fucking bartering with them.
Oh, absolutely.
3 easy payments of whatever's in your garage.
We will strip the copper out of your house and take your dog, but we will leave you a steel shed.
All right. We will leave you a steel shed if in return we get 6 chances this summer to swim in your pool.
There's more copper in your house than you know. We can find it in all kinds of places.
We've been watching your house.
So that's the sort of low stakes deal. Is like, I will help you get this guy if you stop fucking around at work.
Right.
So she's like, okay. And like, it's like, I mean, Katherine Heigl's a really beautiful woman. Number one. So she's like ahead of every game you could be ahead of.
Right.
And B, she's successful. But like, it's like she's never gotten laid before, which is this weird thing. Like, she's never gotten a man, in quotation marks. Like,
Well, doesn't she tell him it's been 11 months since she had sex?
that's not that long. I mean, it's a long time, but like, what
That's
are we
a long
talking about?
time.
Also,
That's a long time.
did anybody else notice that? Like, she just kind of forgets who he is every time they split apart.
Gerard
Yes.
Butler?
Yeah, like every time he'll say something else, she's like, "Oh my god, again with this." Like, this is a continuous thing.
Like,
And,
that's his whole character.
And everything, like, it just like starts all over again.
He tells her this is, and listen up, folks.
Ooh.
This is some sage advice when she's about to go on a date with this doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He says that you have to balance the saint and the sinner with the librarian and the stripper.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks a lot, man cow.
Well, this was like, this is a weirdly R-rated movie because
For no reason.
Because I hear the first fuck and I'm like, oh well, that's the fuck of the movie.
And it's I remember when it hit and I was like, well, I guess you got it in.
Because like 20 minutes in the movie,
Yeah.
but then when I was like, you gotta. He goes to like a store and he's like, oh, and she's like, I'm successful and well connected and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, men like that, but they don't want to fuck it.
Yeah. And then she mentions like how she met that doctor.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, doctors. That just means they put fingers up butts.
Oh no, she's like, yeah, he's a doctor. And he's like, oh, doctor, you know what that means? And she's like, successful, has a lot of money. And he's like, no, he had to stick his fingers up some guy's arsehole in med school.
Yeah.
God forbid. Like, Lord Almighty, what is this guy's problem?
He's Adam Carolla in a movie.
I think he hasn't gotten laid in 11 months.
Oh, at least.
Gerard
Yeah,
Butler?
yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
this answering service, it's all sexy ladies calling you, but you
exactly.
can't call them back.
Like, what is this fucking front he's putting on? Like,
Yeah.
if you're really secure and content in your sexuality or whatever, you're not barking at women and calling them Shrek.
If you pay $12 a month on Pornhub, you can get jerk off instructions on your answering machine.
Oh, great. Now to the weather.
So she goes out on a date with the doctor to a minor league baseball game. And
She's got a Bluetooth in her ear. Like, we are
Yes,
serious
this is-
during a de Bergerac.
absolutely. Gerard Butler is like a couple of sections away.
I think this is after this dude comes to her house.
Yes.
To like talk to her, and they're playing like "Don't Answer the Door" right away.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when she finally does, you could clearly see Gerard Butler like
Oh, peeking over the couch.
Yes,
Barely.
under the couch.
This
and
dude-
I think the guy sees it too.
He sees it and he says nothing. And I'd be
Which
like,
is-
ma'am, there's a murderer in your apartment?
There's an abnormally large Scotsman over there.
But they are kind of playing this dynamic that, oh, she might be seeing someone else
Yes.
to try to make this guy interested, but like she's talking to you and there's a dude listening,
Yeah.
hiding under the couch.
He might
like-
be into couples. You don't know.
which would be fine if they would explore that.
Yeah.
But they
Come
don't.
on in and cuck me girlfriend. Or I guess he'd be getting
He'd
cucked
be
while she
cucked,
was
yeah,
getting
more
fucked
than
is the
likely.
idea.
They're
Yeah.
all getting cucked.
But I mean, I just feel like if I open a door and there's a dude in the
Hi, I'm here for the gangbang.
Yeah, exactly. It's just sort of like you just get that energy. Like, I'm giving off dude energy behind your oven.
Like, no, it's okay. I'm giving her advice to fuck you. That makes it worse.
It makes it so much worse. If I was in a relationship with somebody and I found out they were getting advice from Gerard Butler the whole time,
Done. What was I? Was I just a bet? Was I just a fucking bet to you?
Well, now the shoe's on the other foot. See? Nobody likes it. Nobody likes being a stupid bet. At least in She's All That, there was like a legitimate bet.
There was, yeah.
I have no idea what the wager is in this movie, but somebody's gambling.
So they go to a minor league baseball game. He's got, like, again, like, she has never talked to a man in her whole fucking life, I guess. And, like, she needs a fucking a Bluetooth where he's like, hey, do this. And he's like, hey, put that hot dog in your mouth. And she's like, what?
Suck the dog.
And he's like, she's like, men like to watch women put phallic items in their mouth. And it's like, you don't need someone to tell you that, and also you need a voice.
That's just common sense.
No,
Come
but
on,
you need a
folks.
voice in your head to be like, oh well, that like maybe he'd be aroused by this, but it's wildly inappropriate.
Listen,
for
here's
this
the thing.
minor league baseball game.
And you are at a minor league baseball game, the family friendliest of sporting events.
Wait till the fireworks before you start filleting a hot dog.
Exactly. Wait till everyone's distracted before you pull that move. I mean, it's one of those things where if I saw that happening IRL, I would just be in my head like, that's really weird.
And now rise as we salute the armed forces in this country. Oh wait, that woman is filleting a hot dog in row 9. Everyone turn around. Stop saluting the veterans. Look at that.
Gets to there, right? Because aren't they on Kiss Cam at some point?
Well, she drops the hot dog.
Which I think is the joke, or is it not, that she starts choking on it?
Oh, I didn't get
because I
there.
think he says like something else, like, and that causes her to drop the hot dog. Because she's got the thing that's like, and she just, it hits the floor, but part of it hits his pants, and he's like, oh, my pleated khakis, and then it's like, oh, let me get this stain out, and she's like rubbing this stain out, and it's one of these like, hey everybody, look at this, which would never happen.
Yeah,
and it's like,
she's jerking him off. Let's broadcast it for all the family.
the camera guy turns around, and he's like, say, this will be funny.
And first of all, people who do jerk off at minor league baseball games
don't.
do not wind up on the kiss cam.
Yeah.
Because they know they're there. It's like, oh, fuck, it's that couple again. All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, no, they went up at the security cam, dude. The fucking security office.
Yeah, that's the cum cam.
It's just, oh, it's Barry and Wanda. Ew. They're always
God. Yes, the only season ticket holders in the entire organization.
Hey, Barry's going to go in the bathroom and piss. You want to watch him? No, Wanda, I don't. I just want to go home.
I was just here getting some circus peanuts for my son.
Yeah, but we come to the ball game to go to the bathroom and drink piss.
Where the best piss is.
Hey, you want to piss on my girlfriend in the bathroom? Hey, you could do that. They got that trough style like fucking Wrigley, dude.
You can swim in that place if you want to.
No, it's totally fine. The Mickey Mouse security here, it's just minor league. It's not like your Yankee Stadium.
We got these guys wrapped around our little finger.
They're gonna piss on you too. Don't worry.
I literally just want Cracker Jacks. Is it possible?
That's the code word for piss play.
Yeah, so humiliated, and not as much as she should be. Like they're coming home from the date, and it's like, huh, what a crazy night. I would be like, okay, well, I'm never going to see you again because I'm humiliated and can't face you. Also, I'm probably a meme. Like by the time I walk in the door and turn on LiveJournal.
I'm on like stupid people at Walmart.com or somewhere shit. Some boomer nonsense meme. And she like walks away from him and it's like, but he's like really into her because he's like, wow, that hot dog looked a lot like a penis. And that's like oral sex, which is something we may have one day. And she's like, yes, that's true. I'm glad we spelled all that out for her.
That's good to know.
But like she winds up going off and then like Gerard Butler's like, hey, you know what you need? You ever flick your bean?
This is really something else. This is like, this is the next day. This is when he's asking about like, when was the last time she had sex?
Yeah.
And he's like, or she says 11 months ago, and he's like, "Ack." And then she's like, "There's nothing wrong with that." And he goes, "Yeah, okay, fine. When was the last time you know?" And she's like, "No." Yeah, because she knows not what sex is. Yeah. And this is when he says, "Flick the bean." And you're like, "Oh man, you're at work, dude."
It's exactly.
Someone is going to HR.
So much of this is you're at work, dude.
And like it's just and like clearly she's like, well, it's been this many months or whatever, and like blah blah blah. And he's like, let me buy you vibrating panties. And she's like, oh, that's a great idea. That's a totally normal, regular thing.
I'm just aware.
This relationship we're having right now makes total sense.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if it was like, it wouldn't be good, right? It wouldn't be appropriate in
Sounds
any way.
like you're about to describe a crime.
But if he offered, he was like, "Why don't I buy you something? I'm this shock jock." Right? It's worse though because she's just at the office, or maybe it's when she gets home. I don't remember.
She gets home.
But it's the gift bag, and in the fucking card it says, "This present in it for you. It's for your bean." Come on, man.
I'm buying your clitoris a present.
He starts writing love letters just to her clitoris.
Dear Frijole.
My sweet frijoles.
Remember his? Do you remember his segment that day too?
Oh, he's dressed up like an ape and they're watching monkeys fucking on like some B-roll.
And he's talking about how apes gangbang and you should too.
Oh, right, because if there's a community disagreement, they have an orgy and then the problem's solved.
So the news is now NC-17 on the local station.
And somebody's like, "Oh, he can't say that." And like, "Oh, they say erection on Sesame Street." And I'm like, "What segment was that?"
Oh, you didn't see that one dude, Mr. Hooper? He was having a problem getting it up, and he was talking to Big Bird about it.
They got rid of Kevin Clash. It's fine.
That's true. Like that dude operated that entire puppet with an erection. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah, strange.
But yeah, so he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like." Yeah, it's like me, that bearded guy, and that dog, and we're all talking about your Bush's baked beans.
It's just so fucking bad. And so, yes, they are. It's a pair of panties with a vibrator in them and like a little remote control.
And like, she's like, okay, let me put, this is a weird, like, it's one thing, like, Cyrano de Bergerac wasn't to the other guy like, hey man, let me watch you jerk off real quick.
Well, maybe you should have looked up, dude.
I got a huge fucking nose. I'm really weird, but I want to watch you jerk off real
climb
quick.
that tree.
But yeah, wait. Does that happen in Roxanne?
I don't think that's what Steve Martin's getting up to in that movie.
He is in the bush for quite a while there, Steve.
That nose is like an erection.
It is kind of like that, Eric.
Put it in your mouth.
I'm not doing that.
Do you think Jimmy Durante ever had nasal sex?
Oh, probably. The golden age of Hollywood was a weird time, dude.
Cha-cha.
Yeah, exactly.
But
probably charged for it.
By the way, ask your great grandfather who that was.
But like, it's clearly not a Cyrano de Bergerac thing if he's sexually interested in you. And like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
it's like,
we said it was lightly referencing Cyrano de Bergerac.
but that's what she thinks it is. Like, oh, this guy's helping me get this guy. And he's like, put on these arousing panties and fuck yourself. I was like, not really. Like, but she does put them on.
She puts them on. Like, she's about to go on a date with this dude. It's a big moment for her because the stakes in this are like life and death for her fucking getting this doctor or whatever. Yeah. But he's like running late because I'm a doctor and people like kids are bleeding here or whatever. And she's like,
I'm in a haunted hospital and kids are just randomly bleeding everywhere.
And she's just like, oh, this fucking guy's running late. What? I might as well put on my pleasure panties. And she does, and like the guy's instantly there because the kids stop bleeding real quick or whatever.
Well, no, it's Gerard Butler and Nick Searcy. They're like, it's time for the corporate dinner, and
they're
she's
gonna
like, I have a date.
Kidnap this guy to go on. What? By the way, fucking schedule that shit. You're not coming at you're not showing up to my house where I'm wearing all kinds of panties.
Schedule that corporate dinner
because you don't know what kind of panties I'm wearing.
Right.
Yeah.
The screenplay is sort of unclear as to whether or not she forgot about it and double booked it herself. It's poorly written, so we'll never know. But here's the other thing. Number 2, though, if you're this dude, Dr. Colin, and it's like, listen, I got to go out with, the talent from my show that I hate and my fucking network, manager or whatever. This dude needs to say, I don't need to attend this dinner.
Yes.
This guy goes on the date. Big problem.
I mean, like 6 months. You A, have to have had sex already, and B, have to have been dating for like 3 to 4 months before work functions enter the relationship.
Yeah,
Right. This is like the second time they're going out.
Like, no, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go with your work friends and this weird Scottish dude.
like
goodbye.
you just have to apologize, cancel, reschedule, say this work thing came up. You'll understand because the kids were bleeding, so you get it.
It's not even the work. It's not like a work event. Like,
Yeah.
it's the pitch meeting for next year. It's what's going to decide if you have a fucking job or not.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't excuse yourself for a fucking second to go to the bathroom to take off your panties.
Well, exactly.
That are
Tries
your
to.
vibration.
No, but
that's a bullshit try. It's a bullshit try.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, I would rather not wear underwear as opposed to wear a sex toy to work.
Exactly.
Or wait,
Specific.
go back a little bit, wait for them to get in front of you, take out the thing and stomp it. So the controller.
Like it's a tracking device.
Yeah, just be fucking done with it.
So she goes to this dinner, and the dinner is specifically 2 guys from corporate or whatever the fuck are there.
Yep.
Gerard Butler shows up with the twins that were doing Jello wrestling because he's a fucking Miller Lite commercial, and he's like, oh look who I brought, Millie and Molly, and like they all kind of join the dinner, and like the guy is like, hey, Katherine Heigl, why don't you give this great presentation about your idea for next year? She's like, okay, I'll do that. And first of all, I would leave the remote at home. That's the easiest. The remote to the underwear.
Listen, you're all right, but the way that scene all plays out is they're like, hurry, we got to get in the car for the dinner. So, yes, she should have changed out of the panties, but no, she didn't have time. Yes, she should have left the remote control at home, but no, she had to answer the door, and she just puts it in her bag accidentally.
Smash it.
Yeah.
With your heel, just smash it,
Well,
or
this-
leave it in the car.
This is not like a standard remote. This is like a stainless steel dildo with buttons on it. And
Yeah.
some fat kid from the next table over starts playing with it, and she starts coming on everyone.
That's the thing, is she gets sexually pleasured by a child in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
What are
She
they?
does.
Yeah, that happens.
But it's not like he
they,
knows what's going on.
They go to this date at Comet Ping Pong Pizza.
Oh no, Gerard Butler's really into it.
Oh.
It's not just
He
the fact that
loves
it's
kids having
He thinks
sex.
that it's fantastic that this kid is making her come.
Oh, he's having a larf.
The remote falls out of her bag, and a kid picks it up. He's like, "Oh, it's a video game," and he doesn't know what he's doing because I think it would make it actually illegal to show this in a film.
That's what I was
Right.
trying
He
to point
starts
out. yes.
smashing the button.
That's
like,
right.
Right.
If you have a sex with a kid, make sure they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they had to take off the original Barry White song that was playing over this entire scene.
Yeah, and put on the fucking Wiggles.
The wiggle.
Isn't
I
that like
bet
a
you-
kid
Yes, it is.
song?
I bet you
Eric,
that
you
was
did
a note, though, Kevin. Like, you have to change out the sexy music.
I'm never gonna give you.
Yeah, I bet you that was a
Put on
note.
a theme song to the Wuzzles.
But this is so like.
By
it's
the
a-
way, we got to do the Wuzzles on Animation Damnation.
Ooh, I like that idea. Maybe
Was it- That's a cartoon, right?
I
There's
have- I don't
There's
know.
like an elephant man in there.
Yes, the Wuzzles.
Yes, good. Thanks.
What?
The Wuzzles.
It's a cartoon.
The Noozles?
Wuzzles.
The Woozles.
I'm looking it
Well,
up.
the Noozles were the little koala bears from space that I've talked about several times.
You
Not-
ever,
not-
how about
it's a
what about those
different
snorkel
thing.
guys that have those weird?
The Snorks.
No, with
I
the
think
Wuzzles
you're
a
right.
thing?
I think Andrew's correct. It's the Noozles.
No, there's got to be a
The
Wuzzle.
Noozles were, it was the blue koala bear and the pink koala bear, and they were also aliens, and they made friends
See,
with this
this-
little
this-
girl whose father was lost in an alternate
Oh wait,
dimension.
hold on. No, Eric is correct. There are Wuzzles.
Oh.
I'm sorry. You can continue with your Noozles.
No,
Wait,
that's
so
it.
there's
The father was like
Noozles
lost
and-
in an alternate dimension.
Noozles, Wuzzles.
Wuzzles are
Uma
are a variety of short, rounded animal characters, which are called Steve Sadak's.
Look at how the Sadak puts its behind in the air when it's ready to mate.
Now,
Each-
notice how it's being pleasured at a restaurant by a child.
Each is roughly even in a colorful mix of 2 different animal species.
Wait, are we talking about cartoons or real animals?
No, it's cartoons. These
Oh,
are
all
not
right.
real animals.
Gonna say that's a Cronenberg
As
movie.
the theme song mentions, living with a split personality.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
And all the characters sport wings on their backs, although only Bumbellian and Butterbear are seemingly capable of flight. I'm not going to read the whole Wuzzle's Wikipedia.
But,
Thank you.
But that is what is that show warped my brain.
Yeah.
Steve, how many seasons?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm gonna say 3.
No, 1 episode, 13 episodes, and we're out of here.
13 and we're done.
13 and we're done.
Wow, I
dude.
guess I watched them 3 times.
But so this kid's fucking he's
Right.
a real button masher.
Yeah.
And like this is the thing.
I would hate to play fucking Mortal Kombat with this kid. You know I'd be getting frustrated.
You'd be getting cheesed, dude.
Totally
Yeah, dude,
cheese.
he's
He'd be
just-
doing the same fucking
He's
the
just-
same high back kick.
He's sweeping the leg nonstop,
Yep.
just like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
flicking this bean nonstop, dude. This fucking kid's like cheating at fucking orgasms.
And like morally, yes, Katherine Heigl shouldn't have worn that underwear to dinner. The kid doesn't know what's going on. Gerard Butler is watching this kid and knowing what's going on because she has to give this presentation and it's like the fucking and like she's doing like orgasm face
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
and like,
listen, Meg Ryan, you are not Katherine Heigl. I know exactly what everybody was thinking about trying to shoot this scene.
it's true.
Fucking Harry Met Sally, dude.
And she tries to excuse herself and
Right.
says, "Hey, Gerard Butler, you tell them the presentation.
Right.
I have to go take a wicked shit or whatever."
well, that's the thing. Invoking Chris Cabin right here. I got to take a shit.
yeah.
And then
See?
she
it should shut it all
she
down.
Didn't, she
Yep.
didn't say shit. She just tried to excuse herself to the bathroom.
See?
But then Gerard Butler's like, "I like how you're telling it. Why don't you keep telling it?"
oh, you're getting pleasured by a child, and I'm kind of pulling the strings. Like that's what's going on here.
Yes,
Yes, it
he's
is.
getting
Sends
off.
a beer to the kid.
Was it good for you?
Yeah, at the end of this scene, it's
Hey kid, orange button. Push the orange. No wait. Orange, orange, blue. Orange, orange, blue. Blue, blue, orange.
A, B, up, down, up, down. But no, at the end of this scene,
Green.
Gerard Butler, the kid, and Katherine Heigl smoking a cigarette out back. Perfect.
But yeah, like, and he's like, no, I want you to do it. And like she, and like, yeah, but yeah, you should be like, oh no, I have wicked diarrhea, right?
Yep,
I-
exactly.
Oh, man.
You want me to
Sorry.
shit all over this floor? I'll shit all over this floor and tell you about this TV show's plans.
Bladder job.
But she orgasms, like full on has an orgasm.
Hardcore.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's like, I'm surprised actually. It's not points, but nice job reserving yourself movie. And no one made any kind of a I'll have what she's having reference.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
You
at least.
know,
I'll have what that kid's having. Give me the chicken fingers and a couple of French fries. Give me dry pasta. I'll have what that kid's having.
So somehow, even after all of that, this doctor is down to clown still. So,
Yeah.
they plan a romantic getaway for the weekend to Lake Tahoe is the idea. This is where they're going to fuck for the first time.
Well, there's a long, what do you call it there, a montage of them like getting
right to that
on.
Natasha Bedingfield song there, Cabin. What is that? Pocket Full of Sunshine, I think.
It's really bad, whatever it is.
It's like they're driving in his convertible,
Yeah.
and then they go on like a picnic in the forest. He hand feeds her a cracker with some caviar on it,
Yeah.
and like when he turns his back, she's like, "Whoa, whoa."
It's a J. Jill catalog come to life. It's,
A what
it's
now?
A J. Jill.
J. Jill?
Yeah, it's
What's
a
that? Jake
clothing-
Gyllenhaal's catalog
Not Gyllenhaal. It's a clothing company.
called J. Jill.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But
They make pleasure panties? What are
no,
they?
they're it's,
What are they, like the United States of Benetton?
no,
Or
it's
United
two
Colors of
animals put
Benetton?
together and they have bumblebee
yeah.
wings. No, that's a Wuzzle. I
It's a
apologize.
jellyfish.
I
and
just
the
learned that.
Buffalo Bill.
But the Tahoe trip has to be canceled because we are told he's gotten this job offer to go to an affiliate in San Francisco. Or no, this is the CBS
national
gig,
gig, yeah.
the national gig. He's flying to LA to be on Craig Ferguson, and Craig Ferguson is going to be like basically his like backdoor pilot into being on CBS.
Yes.
Is the idea?
And he go on it, and like the guy's like, we can't lose this guy. He saved our whole network. And by the way, at this point, they're friends. Like her and him are like
Well, because
buddies.
they already
where-
had a montage where everything came together.
exactly. The
And, like,
montage is half her and the doctor and half her and Gerard Butler having like kind of fun time.
Right, yeah. I mean, they've made each other orgasm by now.
In front of
Yeah.
a child. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
beauty.
yeah. I
With
mean,
the help
a
of
child
the
was
child.
involved.
But also, it's like she's dating this dude, and she credits all to Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
Because I guess the other thing too is Gerard Butler's like, you are like a controlling person. You have to have things such a way. The Cyrano de Bergerac-ing is him being like, you just gotta chill out a bit.
Yeah, and also he like introduces the concept of negging.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
She like negs the hell out of this guy, and it drives him up the wall. But he likes her even more due to the negging, and it was all because of Gerard Butler, being a pickup artist or whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
Mystery or whatever that dude's name is.
Yes, from the VH1s or whatever.
So they go to L.A., and then she shows up there, and he's like, what are you doing here? Couldn't stay away, could ye?
And she's like, no, I'm here to help you out. It's all under the guise of I'm going to help you with your Craig Ferguson experience.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, do the interview
And
properly.
then they somehow get the pleasure panties on Craig Ferguson, and his balls are going all over the place.
And he's never taken them off since.
No.
Whoa, hold on. Wait, I'm not getting the Letterman show? Well, fuck this.
Yeah, man, he kind of got screwed.
He
over,
did get screwed.
man.
He was waiting in the wings at 4:00 in the morning until fucking Letterman retired.
This is weird, though. Where did this come up? Someone was mentioning this about Craig Ferguson, and he's actually one of the smartest dudes ever, because apparently
in the
this
contract. Yeah,
he had a contract that said if he didn't get Letterman's job, they had to pay him $40 million.
Oh, what a genius.
So it's totally fine.
Oh, no, I'm not complaining, but he did kind of get screwed by CBS, but he was smart enough to know that he was going to get screwed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not having a Scotsman on that main stage. But this is what's so there is kind of a funny thing here where she's like, all right, I'm going to be Craig Ferguson. We're going to do like a test interview.
Yeah.
And she tries to do much like we're trying to do a
Yes.
Scottish accent, to which Gerard Butler replies, okay, Mr. Irish Craig Ferguson,
Yeah.
which is pretty funny. So he goes on Ferguson, and it's kind of funny. I guess they're like friends IRL.
Yeah.
You can hear like Gerard Butler being so jealous of the fact that Craig Ferguson can use his real voice, because like, if you thought that this accent was struggling to, keep itself in the basement before,
Yeah.
hearing another dude getting to be
'Cause
Scottish,
you get like a lion trying to behave next to another lion.
Yep,
and it's
and-
like they're ready to go at it.
and
do
the other
crazy
lion is
shit.
just eating that fucking steak, and then like Gerard Butler lion's just gonna stand there and watch Craig Ferguson lion eat this meat.
It's like me going to a Yankee game, dude. It's really tough. Keep that Bronx shit in check.
It's true, dude. You're like a werewolf when you go to a Yankee game.
But now I'm just imagining, like, switching careers a little bit. Gerard Butler is Drew Carey's boss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right?
We're swapping careers.
Mr. Carey.
You know what? I'm fucking sick of Ryan Stiles showing up here whenever he fucking pleases.
You know, Mr. Carey, I've asked ye several times to keep your stupid, scrawny friends out of the office. And Mimi, don't even get me started on yous.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's one of those what's wrong with these episodes.
Dude, fuck that gimmick shit. That show always. I liked a lot of that show, but when it started going down those
Yeah.
alleys, no thank you.
I remember so little about the Drew Carey show.
Yeah, you're fine.
It was a funny show, but
I
they
remember
did.
it was fine.
They started getting into shit where it's like, call into this number if you know what exactly was upset in Drew's kitchen in that last scene.
God.
It was so bad.
Really
Turns
good.
out Maggie shot him. Right?
Really good John Carroll Lynch in that.
Oh, absolutely, as the
Fantastic,
brother.
John,
Yeah. So
yeah,
they
my
have this.
socks don't match. Call it in.
I slept with Mimi.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So it's a weird, like, Craig Ferguson cuts to the bone with this guy.
Yeah, but it's weird because, like, one thing, he's a local Sacramento guy, and we've talked about this, but it is odd that he's just on the show, and it's not like, he's just like, this is a guy, introducing me, he's like, here is a guy that tells it like it is. Welcome to the show, other guy.
Right. And I mean, yeah.
It's like
I
an
don't know.
Animal Act or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Jack
definitely-
Hanna fucking quit that week.
If Jack Hanna to start talking about flicking the bean and shit.
And Carson Daly just wishes he got a guy like that.
Man, Carson Daly, What is his deal? Why is he still around?
Because he's a totally personable dude.
I had a deal that if Jimmy Fallon got the Tonight Show, I got $100.
Yeah, exactly. a Chris Pundo. I mean, he's a personable guy. I guess you can have him interview crowds during New Year's Eve, but I don't see it beyond.
Well,
That show of his wasn't terrible.
Last Call? Isn't it still going on?
No, it ended finally, blissfully.
I
But it
think
was
they're
the thing
still
where,
airing reruns, though. I think.
well, he's a huge music nerd. So when you were on that show, it was like him. He was interviewing musicians, and he knew what he was fucking talking about. So it was actually interesting.
Because he hosted TRL.
No, it's
dude.
beyond that.
That's why he's a music guy, man. He knows his TRL.
Yeah. Okay.
well, Eric.
Total Request Live.
Well, Eric, actually, I've made a lot of money. I'm a millionaire. It may not look like that, but if you actually pick up the coins that you see on the subway floor, and when you come out of it, if you come up and you collect them, too many people are above it. Many people are above it, and I do it, and that's how I've made my millions, sir.
That's why they call it last call. Is I stay to bars to the last call, and people are known to overtip at that point and also fall asleep at the bar. And then I take my cut.
Sometimes they leave the register open.
And last call. Do you know what? It's like the lost city of Atlantis. There's just wallets and pieces of plastic and coins and paper everywhere for me.
I'm not denying that he's rich. He's obviously rich. He's been on television for 30 years.
Yes.
But
they used to call me Carson Cushion because I went around at parties sticking my hands in the couch.
Treasure trove.
There's a quarter. Oh, there's some used gum. I could reuse some of that.
FYI, if your apartment has a laundry room like mine does, you go in there, you start fishing around the lint traps, you'll get some quarters.
Also,
and you
might
find
burn your
some
hand.
socks.
Carson, party tip. When you go back and get your coat, you can fondle in the other coats and see what you find there.
Sometimes women leave their purses. Those are treasure troves.
So whatever, they go to a hotel bar like after the
but to your point, like he starts asking like Craig Ferguson.
Right.
Craig Ferguson asks him.
It's like, oh, so you got this way. You obviously like hate being in relationships. So what's the name of the woman that screwed you up so bad?
Yeah.
And then he's like, woman, more like all of them. And they were mean to me.
Well, it's like, oh yeah, I was in a bunch of codependent and overly dependent relationships.
Yeah.
Am I right, folks?
He definitely also tosses in that he's dated some depressed women, and that's been a real fucking bummer for him.
Well, I mean, dating him. Come on. Of course they're depressed.
Pennywise pops up in the back. Hi, Gerard.
So yeah, that they just sort of like cut out of that scene. They cut to this hotel bar. She's having a mojito.
Yeah.
He strolls up, admits right away that he turned down that CBS job.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, don't you think I knew that's why they sent ye?
Well, he says something about like he turned it down because he needs to be with the nephew.
With the nephew, yeah.
Which is like, just make it the son, you know?
Exactly.
Because
Like,
then
that
it's
makes
like
some
you don't want
sense.
to pull him out of school or whatever, change schools.
But it's also a thing where it's like, I don't trust me sister to raise him without a man around.
All right, actually, listen, real talk here. She's got an addiction problem, and I just got to keep an eye on that whole situation.
She's really hooked on the oxy.
It's a thing, like she's a great mother, but sometimes she falls off the wagon, and someone needs to be there to pick up the pieces.
Don't tell the boy this. I own the house.
I mean, she's like giving him, like she gets messed up, tries to give him a bath at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's not okay.
Sometimes she gets fucked up on pills and she's sleeping on the bus.
like none of this is true. It's just his fucking fantasy. They need to be. They must.
But they start like kind of getting in, like she's like happy that he's staying, and like she's like, hey, let's dance, right? And he's like, okay. And they start like,
no, he is like, let's dance. And she's like, no, I can't dance
that's
like
right.
that. And he's like, it's okay, because I can.
And they start like fuck dancing a little bit.
Big time. This is some big time grade A movie fuck dancing.
This is fucking crazy.
And by fuck dancing, we're dancing so close because mere minutes later, we will be fucking.
Well, and she only really falls in love with him when she finds out he likes tap water.
Right, because
This
that was
is
the
a
thing back
strain.
from Kevin
Right.
Connolly.
Yeah.
The weirdest fucking strain in this entire movie is that she's obsessed with tap water.
Right. So in that Kevin Connolly date, like, she,
Right, he
she
beefs
was,
hard here.
he gets like, oh no, I'm going to get the bottled water. And she's like, wait, but it's like kind of, there's no difference because restaurants have to filter tap water. So it's kind of the same thing.
Oh,
and he's
God.
just like, I just like the way bottled water tastes. Thanks.
Thanks, turtle.
Yeah. I like plastic taste. Thanks.
I like plastic taste.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Yep. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I have to leave the state. He's not gonna do the movie. I gotta.
Oh,
No,
fuck.
he's not going to do the movie.
I gotta go.
but
Turtles
it's
outside.
Medellin.
the movie.
It's Medellin. It's not going to do Medellin.
Did you notice the way that this fucking dancing scene is lit, by the way?
No.
It looks like someone was playing way too much with like filters on Instagram. Gerard Butler and her are like fucking beat orange.
Oh, really?
It's disgusting.
Well, that's because they're horny as hell. By the way, earlier in the film, there was kind of a physical contact thing we didn't really talk about, where she pretends to be a man and grabs Gerard Butler's behind,
right.
and is just like, I'm a dude,
Yeah.
and that was kind of a
Yeah, a little sexual
prelude.
surge
Oh,
there.
right. Yeah, a little hint of things to come, a little whiff.
Yeah.
One thing that bothered me about this
Well-
whole scene. Oh, please.
I mean, he also did buy her a sex toy. So let's
I mean,
all.
yeah, I mean-
And they had a thriesome with a 9-year-old boy.
That's
what-
true,
yeah,
that's
let's
true.
just-
and she wanted to put it on immediately. And that's,
Sex toy. It's not like he bought her a fucking Kong dong cabin. It was a fucking vibrating pan.
Hey,
That
That's
is
a
even
sex
worse than a
toy.
Kong dong.
I'm just saying sex toy.
It's a,
Okay.
it's a sex toy.
Hold on.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
toy accessory. It's a sexcessory.
What is it?
Wearables, dude.
All right,
it's
Jerry.
all wearables.
What is this King Kong dong you guys are talking about? Is that
It's just a
something?
fucking huge dildo, dude.
yeah.
Oh, is that the brand name? Or?
Well, no, it's made by the same company that makes the Kongs for dogs. and
Oh,
cats.
Kong Naturals? They make cardboard cat scratchers. My
I'm
cat
just
loves that
going
shit.
to.
Yeah, it's a dildo that your dog can chew on, dude. And they won't chew it to pieces.
Nice.
Right before he asked her to dance, he's like, I'll have a mojito too. And she's like, okay, cool. The waitress goes, like, let's go dance. And they get really steamy dancing. And she's like, we should call it a night. And he's like,
Right.
and it's not a we should call it a night. It's like, we need to wake up early, which is really like, I'm
Yeah.
throwing ice water on this sexual
The
situation.
car's going to be here at 8 o'clock
Yes.
to take us to the airport.
And like, he's like, all right, fine. But I'm like, well, what about the mojito, dude?
yeah.
Like,
Who's
me-
paying for any of that?
Me
They-
being a borderliner, I'm like, well, what about the mojito? Is anyone going to have that? Or
well,
what?
me being an honest citizen, dude, I'm like, who's paying for those drinks? They left the bar without picking up the tab.
Some hotel bars will let you bring that mojito on the elevator and drink it on the way up.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's more of a beer situation. You can buy beer at the bar and bring it upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to
That's
know.
why I love vacationing at all inclusives, dude. You can take alcohol anywhere. They got a library at that resort. You can fucking drink in it.
But so they pay this bill, I guess. And they go in the elevator and like she gets off first and he's like, well, I'll
She gets off.
yeah. Well, she does. 'Cause
He's
like,
trying to get off.
oh, that's right.
Like,
Yeah.
this is me.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I'm going to go. And she's like, well, goodbye. And they have this like steamy makeout sesh for a couple
Dude,
of minutes.
I think I saw some tongue here.
It's not half bad. Like they don't have chemistry until this scene. I feel.
Right. Well, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Let's keep this going.
I'll watch it.
It's pretty hot.
So like they make out, and like she's like, 8 o'clock tomorrow. Airport, and he's like,
Right.
got it, and he leaves. She goes back to her room. She's doing that thing of like, do I go downstairs? Do I not go downstairs?
Right.
And this fucking turd who's not a character shows up, Colin, and he's like, hey babe, I came to surprise you in LA.
Right. And it's super awkward because she opens the door thinking it's Gerard Butler. And then it's like the instant disappointment face when it's this other hot dude.
Well, that's what happens whenever I open the doors. The instant disappointment face.
Right.
You
Oh,
expect
it's
Gerard
just,
Butler.
Oh, it's just that other hot dude, Steve.
No, I see what Steve's saying, though, because every time I've opened a door for the last at least 7 years
Yeah.
or so, I've been hoping it's Gerard Butler.
Hey,
Instantly
Andrew, I'm here
disappointed.
to take you away from all this.
Yep.
You come on me motorcycle. Stop doing the podcast with those other fat folks. Let's get out of here.
Put on these panties. Let me-
We're going to go in me private jet where we're watching a standard def DVD of P.S. I Love Ye.
Oh my God! Did we do that as an
While I
episode?
No,
ring
we
around
haven't.
in your drawers.
Drawers.
No, we have not done P.S. I Love You yet, but we definitely should. That's a fucking weird movie.
It is.
So yeah, it's this dude. He's like, I wanted to surprise you. Tonight's our special night, and
Right.
Nice.
and Gerard Butler comes back because he's like, I can fucking figure it out,
He
and
knocks on the door with his fucking hard on.
exactly. And he doesn't
cop knock with that dong.
he doesn't do the John Travolta thing, which is just, you're gonna say goodnight, you're gonna go home, you're just gonna jerk off.
Just gonna jerk off.
That's it, man.
That's some sage advice.
Mm-hmm. But
Good
he
one.
goes
Vincent
upstairs.
Vega, dude.
Goes upstairs. He sees the guy there. He freaks out.
The
He's
guy opens the door with his shirt off, which is
Yeah.
kind of hilarious.
and he's like, "Well, wrong door," and he leaves, and she runs after him, and she's like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" He's like, the plane's leaving early," which I'm not even sure if that's true, by the way.
No, well, he says this to the guy because the guy's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I came to tell her the flight changed to 8. Yeah, that'll do."
Yeah.
Like that's his bullshit thing. And he walks away. And when they have this conversation in the hallway, he has the fucking audacity to guilt trip her, nah, it's fine. You work so hard at trying to get this guy. You should just go fuck that guy. Don't worry about little old me.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
You know what you should do? Ball this dude's brains out. Just to see what it's like.
Yep.
Because hey, look, you're in this relationship anyway. Gerard Butler's a fucking asshole 8 ways from Sunday.
Exactly.
See what it's like before you break up. I'll give it one go.
Just
saw-
fuck that orthopedic surgeon.
You saw his dick. You were apparently impressed with it. Let's see it in action. Let's see that fucking gun fire.
That just reminded me, by the way, there's some conversation they have. I think it's when they're going to Craig Ferguson, and he's like, he makes some prediction about, by the way, I put all my money on he's lacking in the package department.
Yeah.
She doesn't respond, by the way, I've definitely seen his dick.
Yeah.
She makes no mention of that. She's like, oh, will you shut up about that? I would be like, no, right there. Just be like, no, I fucking saw it the night we met, and it's huge.
Exactly.
Tree trunk.
So then she and this dude Colin kind of have it out because he's trying to be romantic, and she comes clean and is like, look, you were just a stupid bet on the vague terms of something I said with my coworker.
Well, she's like, oh, you're in love with the Mike version of me,
Right, the
And also
mic'd up version.
The weirdest part of this entire movie is that she wears extensions for half of it, which makes no sense.
And the way that she reveals it, she's like, by the way, this is how much of a liar I am. And she takes these extensions out as if she's taking off a mask in Scooby-Doo.
Exactly.
And he's just like, what?
It's like an 1.5 inch extension. It makes literally no difference in her haircut, her appearance whatsoever.
It's so dumb. And this guy's floored. He's like, I don't even know you.
And they ever bring that up, but Mike doesn't
no,
bring that.
he does oh, your hair is too short. It's got to be longer. And she's like, what's it? Yeah, men need something to hold on to.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
But do we see her get it?
No,
No,
but
you don't.
But that's the thing is, it's so inconsequential. You wouldn't know they were there.
We do
Right.
see her get it at the end of the film. We'll get there.
So come to find out, she goes back to Sacramento.
Yeah.
Come to find out, Mike has accepted an offer from another local affiliate in the area. So
Yeah.
he's staying in Sacramento, but he's leaving the network. Again, this is all just a weird overnight thing, but we're introduced to his new show, Morning Madness with Mike.
yeah.
Oh, man. And it's just with Mike.
And the funny thing, the gag is he goes to his producer, who's a chubby dude, a Steve Sadek type, one might say, and he's just like, you know what the best thing about you, man, is? And he's like, what? He's like, I don't want to fuck ye at all. And I'm like, all right.
The guy's like, well, thank goodness for that, sir.
Yeah, it just should be like, I don't want to work with you at all.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yep.
nothing because you don't want to
You
fuck me,
just,
because you're bringing it up.
Yeah, what is
Arch-
this sexual talk we're having?
Yeah, I already have Lawsuit City. Fantastic.
But and then she cause I could find another Mike. He's a dime a dozen.
Right.
She winds up with this
True.
guy earlier in the movie. It's a Deus Ex balloon festival, or I'm sorry, it's Chekhov's balloon festival, because
Right.
she's like, oh, in a couple of weeks you go to that balloon festival to see if men are full of hot air. And it's such a good idea. Both shows go to it.
Yep.
Dude, you're clamoring for the fucking balloon show ratings, man. Are you kidding me?
And she gets
Sweeps
some,
are coming.
She gets some knockoff mic, and it's this dude that keeps on I guess he lacks the charm.
Yeah.
He says what Mike would say, but it sounds evil.
Well, he
coming
keeps
out of his mouth.
advocating openly for date rape. Is what
Yeah.
this dude's,
Well, which
this
is
Jack
also
Magnum's
what
joke is.
Mike kind of.
Yeah, pretty close.
But this dude's like this Jack Magnum's like, yeah, coming to you live, Jack Magnum. I've had sex with over 163 women, and most of them were conscious.
yeah, it's like
And
that.
to this movie's credit, everyone is appalled.
Yeah.
The people in the control room are like, oh, douche
Yeah,
chill.
they're like,
She's
"Oh my
Katherine Heigl's like
God.
freaking out.
Gerard Butler had over 200. This is weird. What a loser.
This dude playing Jack Magnum looks like if Jim Brewer was a redhead. You see this guy?
Yeah.
A negative side is that Jack Magnum isn't eaten by rabid raccoons. That doesn't happen, sadly.
And Mike is there, and like the guy's like, look, it's your old show. They have you on there.
Oh, right.
So she fires Magnum immediately, and like there's nobody there, and like they're like, what do we cut to? And they keep showing because they're barely characters. Christine Hines and
Cheryl Hines. And John
Cheryl
Michael
Hines
Higgins.
and John
yeah.
Michael Higgins, like at the desk, like waiting to do something. Like,
Right.
well, we got to keep rolling this fucking balloon festival. Like, cut to anything else.
I guess, dude, it's the Sacramento Balloon Festival. It's the biggest event of the year.
Yeah,
You
and-
can't cut away, dude. You just got to keep it on for the ratings.
It's the first time in 30 broadcasts where they aren't fucking on live air.
that's true.
So
And
I would
like,
just want to look at them now.
what you call it? Katherine Heigl grabs the mic, and she's like, well, you know what? Men are scum, and that
Right.
Mike, whatever his name is, he's a piece of shit too. And she's like going through this whole diatribe.
What's hilarious is when she starts doing this, they come back to the control room, and Nick Searcy and all these other like dudes that are producing the show are like, "What is she doing?"
Yeah.
and it's like, well, the same thing as Gerard Butler,
Yeah.
just a women's version of it.
And also, she's attractive enough to be on television. You know what I mean? It's not like, what?
Gerard Butler, dude, face for Mad Dog.
So Gerard Butler shows up, and he's like, actually, let me tell ye
Dude,
something.
he fucking steals the mic like we're doing a backstage interview in a pro wrestling event.
And much like the end of Police Academy 3, I believe Citizens on Patrol ends this way.
Citizens on Patrol is 4, is it not?
Which
It
one's,
Uh,
is.
Yeah.
which one ends with the hot air balloons? I believe it's 3, or maybe it's 4. It might be 4.
Maybe. It's right. There's
Right into the mailbag if you've watched all the Police Academy movies recently.
Man, I'm trying to think of all those titles too.
I'll
Right?
say
There's
it's 4.
Citizens on Patrol. Is
It's
4,
you know
where
what?
we
No,
get
it
David
is.
Spade and-
It is Police Academy 4, where they like they
Oh.
make the arrest like midair or
Yes,
whatever.
yeah.
Yes,
Nice.
it's the end of Police Academy 4, which is indeed Citizens on Patrol.
Okay.
Which also has a very young David Spade.
Is 3 where they introduce Bobcat?
Yes, that's Bobcat Police Academy 3 Bobcat Begins.
Anyway.
But so this movie ends in an air balloon thing because the air balloon goes off and there's
Right.
like an air balloon guy and they're still loved up. And I guess there's like footage of it because like
There's a camera.
there's a camera,
in-
yeah.
oh in the
It's,
balloon.
it's attached to the balloon is the idea. And then Nick Searcy, again from the control room, is like, oh no, they don't know the camera's still rolling. I'm like, you're the producer.
Yeah.
Just cut away. Cut to the studio,
No,
the weather guy.
it's too
anything.
good. It's too good.
Rerun material.
Whenever
anything.
there's Mike on the screen, you got to keep on it. And whenever Mike's not there, everyone's asking, "Where's Mike?"
and this
Mike!
and this is when they're having their
He almost, by the way, Mike almost jumps out. Of
Yeah,
this
yeah,
air
yeah.
balloon. Almost kills himself to get out of this situation.
and like they kind of come to terms, right? He's like, "Oh, you only wanted to fuck that doctor, even though whatever the what," and like blah blah blah. They're going back and forth.
Even though he puts fingers up butts.
He does call him butt boy at some point.
He
It's
does.
It's
some-
fucking weird,
It's
man.
weird his anal stuff. in
The
this
guy's
film.
like, excuse me?
"Pardon me, are we in grade school right now?"
This sequence and a lot of sequences in this movie remind me of the fake romantic comedy in Burn After Reading.
Yeah, I don't remember that movie.
Oh, I don't remember anything about that movie except for the fucking
Eric?
fuck seat.
Sounds right to me.
I remember George Clooney builds a fuck seat, and I hated that movie.
I remember enjoying that movie. I feel like the Coen brothers, it's hard for them to make a movie that I'm going to outright hate.
I gotta rewatch that movie. I feel like I owe it
Yeah.
another spin.
I feel like
really good.
Intolerable Cruelty is probably the low point.
That's
for
another
me.
one where
I've
I was
never
like,
been able
what
to
am
get
I
through it.
doing here?
People
Oof.
shit on the Lady Killers too, which is not their greatest, but I feel like it's kind of funny. Sorry.
I'm okay with Lady
I remember
Killers.
liking that movie. That's one I don't want to go back to. I want to keep that in amber. Like, oh, I like that movie, and then moved on from it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, they're in this hot air balloon. He sort of like accidentally lets slip that he loves her, and she's like, "Wait a second, you love me?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she goes like, "Why do you love me?" And he's like, "Honestly, I don't know."
And they keep cutting back to like all the people that are barely in this movie, including his sister and the kid. And he's like, "Wow!" And it's like, "Who are you even?"
So, question: is his career over now?
That's
now
a good
that
question.
he's found love.
Oh, right. Well, we don't really know because we don't get a like 6 months later, which I was shocked at.
Instead,
this
we
movie
get a
for.
fucking sex scene that we end on this. We get to see Gerard Butler pumping Katherine Heigl.
Well, you don't see that.
Well,
No, you do. You see him humping. You see them humping.
Dude, you do.
Dude,
Under a
not.
blanket, you see some
You
stuff
definitely
going
do.
on.
It's
You definitely
audio, and they all have orgasms, and then we fade in, and he gets off of her.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
I just
saw
watched
her-
this afternoon.
I saw him going up and down on her.
No, that was just you were accidentally flicking the input on your fucking television to the pornography. You
No,
left on.
I guarantee this happened.
What fucking cut did you watch?
The one
it's
on
not
Netflix.
in the movie.
It's in the movie.
I remember it being somewhat raunchier than it needed to be.
Yes, there
I
was a
think it's-
legit sex scene in this film.
I think you're just putting images in your head because you hear it, dude.
No, it's there. Let's
All
pull
right.
it up. Let's pull it up.
Oh shit! You want to go to Netflix right now? Oh my god!
I remember
pull-
tuning out immediately.
Well, when they pull it up, let's just say it's like because by the way, they do have some. They have to. It's the law of a screenplay like this. They have to have some conversation about faking it.
Yes.
Blah blah blah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you hear her have this huge orgasm,
But she's not even just having an orgasm. And again, this is Katherine Heigl's movie. It is.
Right.
It's entirely through and through. And she's like,
Yeah.
and she has to be like, "Oh, Mike, you're the king. You're
Yeah.
you're a god."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you faking it?"
right,
And the last line is, "You'll never know."
right. Cut to black.
Wait. Oh, here we go. Eric's pulling up.
Well, it's buffering.
Buffering. What do you got? Real player on over there?
Welcome back to Buffering with Eric Sisk.
It is dark. It's black. Dude, that's totally humping.
Oh wow! Wow!
Well, Chris Cavill
It's
with the
right
creepy
on the
hair.
edge.
Because it's black.
You have to
and
really
it
be
fades
looking.
in on his hump. Watch. Watch. It's dark, but you see his body move. You saw his body move up and down.
Back into
It was
the left.
okay. It was like one hump. It's very dark, but there is definitely the shed. You see the shed. You see that? Back and to the left.
I think there's a second fucker, dude.
No, but seriously, like
Wait, what's that guy with the umbrella doing? Oh wait, hold on. No, I all right. Because this is what I kind of remember. Yeah, it is a bit graphic. I do agree. Why are you pointing at me? Yeah, the light is on now.
See,
Yeah,
you
there's-
saw by
yeah.
the window. By
Yeah.
the window, the book depository. No, but seriously, there is
Dude,
a
something
total
is
hump.
happening in the Netflix office right now. They're like, someone's fucking rewinding the last 3 seconds of The Ugly Truth.
Well, they put a 10-second rewind button, not me. All right, so I think we both are right.
I think I'm going to call it a draw. If anyone, you know what? Maybe we'll put up a poll on Facebook. Who is right, Eric or Andrew? And we'll see what happens.
Enough, I said. No more.
I don't need to hear you're a guard one more time. Yes.
No, but like you definitely, he's covered in a blanket. He's on top of her. He
Sure.
does get off of her, but I
Right.
feel like there's definitely a thrust.
There's at least one thrust. I'll give you
Okay.
one thrust. I'm going to
I'll
give you one
a
thrust.
thrust.
But like, again, it's her movie. It shouldn't, like, I don't know. It's a weird ending to it.
Well, it's a weird, like, it's ending with, like, she does a thing that he taught him. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
exactly.
she's like, because I don't remember exactly what the conversation is they have earlier in the film, but it's about, like, why would you fake? Like, what's the advantage of faking
Yeah.
it? Blah, 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 blah. And he has to, like, explain it to her. So then it's like, see, you taught me good.
Yeah.
Wink. End of movie.
End of movie. Yeah, I agree. It should be like 6 months later where it's like Mike being like, "It's the ugly truth featuring me girlfriend."
Right, or
You
they
know?
have some like Love Line-esque program that they host
Exactly.
together or something.
Also, right after that, he's like, "Oh, did you fake the orgasm?"
Yeah.
yeah, we just said that.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I was
You were
thinking-
busy putting the research away.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm watching it a few more times.
He's also hilariously like 300-esque sweaty.
Yeah.
At the end of this fucking, by the way. Oh, and what it is though, it's you'll never know. And then she fucking jumps on top of him and turns the light off on the end table. And when she turns the light back off, boom, that's like the end of the movie. The lights go out on the movie.
Mhm. And there's probably more humping. There.
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
they're
that-
definitely
where that
I would
comes from,
imagine
yeah.
so.
They're both ready to go.
Well, because she didn't
again.
orgasm. I mean,
Yeah.
like she's like, I'm kidding, but you have to like, we gotta figure something out here. I'm not going to bed like this.
Yeah. That counts as a sex scene, I think.
I wasn't saying it wasn't a sex scene.
You said I was fucking crazy.
Well, you were fucking crazy because you're describing it like you were watching softcore pornography.
To me, that is pornography.
Jesus Christ. How can someone so disgusting be such a prude?
It somehow happened.
Blissfully, that is the end of this movie. 96 minutes too long.
My parents call me a prude, by the way.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
wow,
not even
dude.
joking.
That's gotta
Yeah,
mess
but you're
you
like
up.
that.
My mother has said that I'm repressed.
You're like the head nun in doubt level. I'd say.
Steve Sadak, would you recommend this movie?
No, I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's not. You know, it needs something else. It needs like populate this with comedic actors. Like usually these movies, like you have your two sort of woodenish like romantic comedy leads.
There's
And
other
the-
people around there.
Exactly, but there's not. Like you got Nate Cordry is like the top of the top, and he's got like maybe 1.5 lines.
Him, Yvette Nicole Brown, who are both very funny.
Even like Craig Ferguson, who's a really funny guy, doesn't even have a funny scene in this movie. It should be like a funny. It's
and
just-
if you're such fucking pals,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
with Gerard Butler, do a thing where like he's playing Craig Ferguson in the movie, like, but it's like a version of himself
Yeah,
or
like a
something.
dick or something.
Make him like a little, like that's a little more Apatow-esque also. You know?
it's not. I say no.
Oh yeah, don't watch this movie. It's most of Robert Luketic, other than Legally Blonde, most of Robert Luketic stuff is definitely episodes. I hate this movie. Gerard Butler as a romantic lead is just, it's not working.
Those are weird movies when you have to have him in these roles. Similarly with P.S. I Love You, which is even more of like a
Oh,
a
God.
serious like drama.
He's like a
kind of
ghost in that, right?
thing. It's like he's dead, but I left you all these clues, and at the end of the treasure hunt, I say, "Get on with your life,
Haunting
loser."
Haunting Hillary Swank.
You know,
the other title.
I just realized he doesn't break a single neck in this movie.
yeah, I don't like
that's a
that.
shame.
I don't like that either.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's a deleted scene with Nate Cordry. That's not why he's not in the rest of the film.
Oh,
He's like,
no,
"Oh,
I killed him.
you were spying on me in the bathroom. Better break your neck." Clack.
We never see Gerard Butler's apartment. Presumably, there's a tub with lye and human carcasses in it. But I'm not going to recommend this because it's just a bad pairing. It's a bad movie. It's bad. There's everything about it is bad. Also, you're setting it in Sacramento, and I don't get to see Sacramento. Where's Old Sac at?
Old Sack.
Old
Where is
Sac,
it?
dude,
Where is
man.
Old Sac, dude?
It's like an old Western kind of area,
Yeah.
touristy
Oh, I see.
area.
Oh,
Sacramento's a pretty nice
Never been.
town.
Never
my
been.
my cat's from there.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't recommend this movie at all. I'd recommend another movie where it's two people hate each other and they're tasked with spending time together, and that's Frank Capra's "It Happened One Night" with Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert from 1934.
There's a
This you
big
pitching
sex
your
scene at-
TCM.
big sex scene at the end of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
A lot
yeah,
of
he's
fucking
railing her.
thrusting.
It's crazy. More thrust than you could shake a stick at in that.
The
1934.
vibrating panties were a bit much,
Yeah.
Because, especially because they were gramophone based.
If you see the light through the windows, then you can see the thrusting.
But-
That's when you see the thrust.
It Happened One Night is a legitimate.
It is a
classic
great
film.
movie. It's a
That's
great movie.
also like it's pushing on. Soon it will be 100 years old. Sooner than it.
Sure.
Won't be 100 years old. And I will say, I watched it a few years ago. It is so fucking hysterical. There are like laugh out loud moments of
good-
comedy in that movie, unlike The Ugly Truth. I
is a
will
piece
say,
of
by
shit.
the way, stay tuned for more Gerard Butler because that fucking Third Angel movie is coming out there, or Has Fallen movie is
right.
coming out.
Well,
I
we
should
didn't
say.
we didn't even do London yet, so
No, didn't we do an episode on London?
No, we only did the first one.
We did
Oh,
Olympus.
do you mean I
live,
just watched
yeah.
that movie for no reason?
I watched it with you for no reason.
Yeah, wow. We waste time together, huh?
Mm-hmm. So it was a Saturday.
Well, maybe someday. Because this one looks like it's going to be terrible too. But this is like Morgan Freeman's now the president. Like
Yeah.
someone tries to kill him. And
By
it's
the
like,
way, this podcast is a professional waste of time.
Well, he has to go up about a famed, notorious, evil nobody. What's his name there? Dan.
Don Rickles,
Dom Amici.
No, shit.
Dan
Why am I-
Hedaya.
No. Fuck.
Gerard, get in the play.
Danny Houston.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's a nobody.
Oh,
Of course.
I love
See,
Danny
forget-
Houston.
He's vapor to me. Just a vapor. Their existence.
Well, I guess we'll see if that's an episode. But that is The Ugly Truth from 2009, directed, like we said, by Robert Luketic. Watch his movie Legally Blonde, actually.
Good one.
It's a legit good movie that he made.
Good movie.
But that is it for this. However, I will say the Summer Blockbuster Extravaganza, such as it is, rolls on next week. Steve, what are we talking
Oh
about?
my God, the world might end when it should have in 2012.
It would have been great to be dead by now. So yeah, that's going to be the next week. But also on Patreon this month is Forrest Gump,
Oh, right. Forrest Gump.
That's
which is
right.
maybe a nostalgia buster for you, maybe a boomer buster, maybe it's a controversial pick, and it's okay to like it, but please check it out on Patreon.
That is right. And for more We Hate Movies, go over to that Patreon, patreon.com/We Hate Movies. The content that we've mentioned, plus so much more. So until next week, when John Cusack doesn't prevent the world from ending, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Chris Cabin.
Eric Siska.
Take it easy.
That was a headgum podcast.